last time,
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
on Call of Cthulhu, you guys remember you started out as these investigators. You met with the dean of this Mesotonic University, Mr. Fallon. He gave you this quest to find these missing witch trial papers, which he wants to keep on the DL. You know, doesn't want anyone knowing that the university has in fact lost the papers, and that Charles Leader, one of their history professors, was in charge of said papers, and he died. We pick right back up here. Father, you are still here with the now quiet and motionless Dr. Wheatcroft, who still does seem to have a ragged breath here. He just got done having a heart attack, but he does not look like he's in too good of condition. Bags under his eyes. He already wasn't looking too good when you ran into him. As you're sitting here in this med bay facility, we'll say that the others have joined. I think that was the last thing. You guys all walk in here and you see the scene. I believe the priest explains to you what just happened and points at the door saying, you know, there's definitely something down there. And as you guys are doing this, there's a radio on the counter, and you can hear it's been playing one of the baseball games, and all of a sudden it kind of just starts giving some weird static hissing as you all turn your heads over, and in between what are these and next base you're going for third, and then it cuts out and you hear these harsh whispering voices that come and permeate the air, very quiet, very hissing sounds that just kind of pulsate, and it kind of cuts back in between, and then he's running for it. That's a Hulk, and then it goes some light whispers. What would you all like to do? We'll say it's about noon, October 2nd, 1923, in the medical facility. Dr. Wheatcroft is unconscious. What would you
I'd like to turn the radio off.
You see, what's his face? Barnabas moves over slowly and flicks off the power to the radio. And it continues whispering. You hear this as if it...
I shoot it with my 45.
He takes out his gun, Jackson.
Without any warning.
Without any warning, point blank, points it at the radio and pops a cap in it. And with one loud bang that almost shatters everyone's eardrum, the radio finally goes silent.
I turn to the assembled students and say, we need to get him to emergency care immediately.
A young girl who looks like...
I put away my gun.
You put away your gun. Yeah, one girl still clamping the side of her face where the gun was closest to. She leans down and she says, yes, I can get the good doctor over to some kind of medical facility. And she has some other med students with her that kind of move around, and they go off and to grab a, what's it called, a stretcher to move him.
Do any of the students look like they're still kind of with it? Like they're not just terrified and in shock right now?
They seem very, very panicked. They don't seem like super scared. They're definitely looking over at the man who just pulled a gun, but they seem to be most terrified of him. But other than that, no one seems too scared. One of them does look over at you, Father O'Neill, and say, should I call the police?
Let me talk to Fallon first. Do not let anyone into the morgue.
And they all kind of give each other weary glances, and at that point you see two medical students move around the corner with the stretcher, put Dr. Wheatcroft on it, begin to move him away into the back. You're still on the ground floor, so definitely not in the morgue, but the ground floor of the medical facility. Some med students, excitedly talking and looking around. Some of them like moving around the door and putting their ear against it, listening. Mm-hmm. But other than that, nothing else is happening here. What would you like to do?
I would like to examine the radio.
You move over to the radio. Give me a spot hidden as you look it over. So you look over this radio. There's one big bullet that seems to have blasted out a good amount of the components out the back side, like it would an enemy.
Can I push the roll?
Sure. Yeah. If you want to push the roll, go ahead.
Hard pass.
Jackson, picks up this radio and kind of looks it over. It's still plugged into the wall, but there's still sparks kind of shooting out. It looks, as you look it over, it doesn't look like any foul play or anyone's been messing with this radio.
I see foul play. There's a bullet in it.
Other than a bullet blown out the back of the device itself.
Did you guys see this bullet?
But you can clearly see inside the internal components just because you blew a hole through it, and there doesn't look like any real tampering outside of your bullet.
Alright. I wouldn't know if I would call it tampering.
You have an uneasy feeling from it, but other than that, nothing else is coming to you.
Alright. I say I don't think the radio is suspect anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the room is our party and one of the Mafia members, or did both Mafia members die?
So you noticed as you walked in here, because remember the car is parked out front.
Mm-hmm.
There are no Mafia members present in this room, and the father just briefed you that all 5 of them went down into the morgue. The doctor, priest, all 4 of them, and went down into the belly, and they came back up, locked the door, and they heard some gunshots down there. You heard like some muffled gunshots, but other than that, it's been dead silent from the door. No more sounds, and that's where the Mafia members are.
Gotcha.
As soon as he touched a blade to his neck, he sprung to life and leapt onto the damn fool. I got Wheatcroft out as soon as I could.
And
This is dark magic.
well, aren't you a priest to like pray and stuff?
We all see how well that went in the asylum.
Actually, we didn't see that. You were the only one there besides the,
I saw it.
besides her.
I mean, she's given you no reason not to trust her.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I gotta see it to believe it kind of thing.
You're welcome to open up that door and get your face ripped off if you want.
Nah, no, I'm good.
That's what I thought.
I open the door and I push.
Alright, so you open the door?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
He was all excited. Oh, hey, they're all gonna die.
Just then, the door swings open, and you see a med student, closely followed by Dean Fallon, the person who runs this college. He strides in and looks around, eyes wide, and he says, "What's going on? What's happening?"
I guess I bring him in close to the group away from the med students, and so we can talk.
I like it. Yeah, out of earshot of the med students, and he kind of leans in close and he says, "Maurice, what's happening?"
I want to try to sniff him.
You're gonna sniff him? So you walk over, I mean, you have a nose, and you're human, so it's not like it's impossible, unless there's something super discreet and low on him. You
No.
move over and sniff him, and he doesn't smell weird or anything. In fact, he has a nice cologne on him.
I tell him, you smell good.
He seems distracted and not even paying attention as he stares at the father.
I begin to fill him in on the exploits of the previous 24 hours,
And as you
culminating with this event.
And as you rattle off your tale, his face grows, more and more concerned. And at the final completion of what you're saying, he looks over at the basement door in disbelief and points there and says, "You're saying that the body of Charles Leader got up and attacked some men down in that morgue, and Dr. Wheatcroft is gone and he's had a heart attack."
Ah, you little bitch.
I'm saying that everything that I have said can be corroborated.
He kind of sits there and hesitates for a moment, and he looks back over at the med students and then back at you guys, and he says, "I'm not sure what's going on here, but whatever it is, we need to keep this on the down low. I'm not sure who snuck in the morgue and killed those men, but I don't know. Do you, I say we keep this door locked for now. I'm gonna go talk to some of the security and see if we can get someone to rally over here and move down there with a couple men. But in the meantime, I think it's of the utmost importance we we get these papers. The way you're talking to me, it sounds like something crazy is going on here. Something.
I don't know if these papers are irradiated or have some weird chemical on them, but something is not right. Anybody who seems to come in contact with them is not okay. You know me to be a straight-laced man. I wouldn't lie to you, Fallon.
He grimly nods his head and says, "All right, well, whatever's. It sounds like these two incidents, the papers and the disruption in the morgue, are related. So, well, what do you propose we do from here? I'm a little bit outside my league, and I think if we can, we should at all costs not get the police involved. But unless you want to go down, I can get some of the campus security to go down there. Would you want to lead them, or?"
Yeah.
I turned to Barnabas.
Yep.
And he says, "Barnabas, would you want to lead the task force down into the morgue and find this man that's down there?" He looks over at you, Maurice, and he says, "Was he armed?"
He did have arms. Yes.
He didn't need them.
Interesting. He almost looks a little perplexed, and then at that moment, the door bursts open. Soon behind you see what looks like an overweight man and a skinny man kind of move in. The overweight man, out of breath. They both have campus security clothing on, and rush in over to you guys. And Fallon kind of briefs them on the situation. They seem almost like, not believing of anything that we're talking about here, but they do nod and they know they have a job to do. And he says, "For the safety of the students, I'm going to evacuate everyone from the medical bay, and I'll see to Dr. Wheatcroft to make sure he gets some medical assistance. So I'll go take care of that if you guys just want to take care of whatever's going on in the basement here." There's the two men, the overweight and the skinny guy, and they say, "Hey, what can we do? He told Dean Fallon told us to do whatever you guys say."
Do you have weapons?
They both reach on their belts, and they each have what look like nightsticks, and they also have what looks like some kind of pepper spray.
Okay.
Really? That's all they have is security.
They say, "Well, you're not supposed to have guns on campus."
Right, who would do that?
Yeah, but we're not on.
Huh?
Never mind.
They move over to the door, take either side, and you can see they look over at you guys as if waiting for someone to tell them what to do. They each pull out their nightstick and their pepper spray.
So, let me get this right. You gentlemen are the security here, and you want to take orders from me, the Lady Fortune Teller.
Well,
Alright, let's do this, I guess.
at this point, Dean Fallon has left to attend to Dr. Wheatcroft, and the skinny guy says, Fallon said that we should do what you guys say, to take your lead and not repeat what we see.
I secretly follow Fallon to see what he's up to.
Are you? What do you say as you depart from the group?
I'm just a lady. I can't handle this kind of... all this rough stuff you boys are getting yourselves into.
And you can see the man says, "All right, I understand. That makes complete sense to me." And then, you move around the corner and disappear. So, as you can see, like, almost Fallon disappearing around each corner as you keep your distance and begin to follow him. For you, go ahead and make a stealth check as you begin pursuing him. We cut back to the guys in front of the basement door, the two security guys, and they say, "All right, who wants to go first?" You said this guy. There are three people down here. Two of them have guns, I believe you said, right?
Yeah.
I look at Barnabas again.
And and the two guards look at each other wearily and say, "Now, Dean doesn't want us to get the police involved, but what do you guys think? I don't want to go. I'm definitely nervous about going down here with men who are armed. And usually we've been tasked with, if there are guns on campus, we get the police involved, but that's not the case right now."
I reassure them and say there's some weird stuff going on, but we think we can handle it. If you guys can go down there. We think we are capable of handling this.
I think we could, if we all work
The dean
together.
wishes.
Perfect. Wait, what?
Do as the dean wishes.
Of course. Anything. Fallon writes my paycheck. Of course. So.
The other student just like, you got this, guys. It'll be okay.
Yeah, the student.
Curricular.
So who's going down first?
Barnabas will go down first.
So yeah, the guards, the two security guards, open up the door, unlock it, and swing it open. And as the door groans, revealing the staircase leading down, there is still this whitewashed, electric light that illuminates the basement. But from the top of the stairs, you can't see what's going on until you reach the bottom and turn the corner.
I follow them, and I reach for my gun.
All right,
I
so
quietly pull out my
conceal them.
brass knuckles.
I'll have my hand ready to whip out my gun.
I will go last.
you're gonna go last.
Yes.
All right.
First to shoot, last to fight. I see how it is.
So Barnabas goes
Look,
down.
I took out the radio, damn it.
Yeah, the radio was obviously Cthulhu.
Yes.
So the Barnabas, leading the group of men, goes down into the belly of the beast, and as you start moving down, one of the fat guy, the fat guard who's right behind you, Barnabas, taps you on the shoulder and says, "Do you have a gun, sir?"
I do.
I won't lie to you. If you want to go ahead and produce that sucker, because I think we're kind of back against the wall here. So, Dean Fallon is already
Dicks out, fellas?
turning his blind eye, he said, to what's going on here. So,
I pulled my dick out. I mean, what?
Alright. I pull
was
my
kidding.
gun out.
all right, you pull your gun out, and they kind of look at you like a student.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you
Oh
guys,
my.
yeah, as you move deeper into the basement, so you come around the corner there, Barnabas, and there's the main open morgue room. There are multiple tables laid out with big lights over them, and you remember the table that leader was laid out on right near the refrigeration units. He had just been freshly pulled out. You notice that the body's not there. There are bloody streaks all over the ground, but there are no bodies, nothing here. It's a completely empty room except for blood marks. And there's a big trail that seems to be moving towards the back of the room into a door frame that is not lit. Just a black door frame.
I asked the priest, what's behind the door?
I can only assume it's some sort of storage area.
The main guard taps you on the shoulder again, Barnabas, and says, "I'm right behind you, sir." Priest, you don't have to because you already saw it. Everyone give me a sanity check.
Sanity roll. Where did I put my dice?
For the
I looked
blood.
around for like candles or something because it feels like the time period that would probably have some candles.
I'll say yes, there are definitely candles for backup around here that you can grab and light.
I do that.
One of the guards, the larger guard, seems to have some confidence, but the younger and the skinny guard seems to not really be doing well in regards to sanity. And he starts his legs start to quiver as he looks over the situation, and he kind of stops as Barnabas and the main guard start moving forward and just kind of holds up the line. Be right in front of you, Sam. As the guard, like the skinny guard's just stopped in the stairway and he's not moving. Like he's just looking at this scene and just not letting the rest of the people behind him progress.
I go, yo, buddy.
He's just sitting there quiet. His eyes just staring at the scene.
Can I tap him in the face a little bit?
Yeah, sure. You
There you
smack
go.
him.
You alright?
He kind of sits there and hesitates for a moment, and he goes, yeah. And he starts moving into the room as well. So go ahead and give me a D4 of sanity loss. So just roll D4 and then scribble down your sanity a little bit. So we're going to cut back to, as your caravan moves closer to the blacked out door frame, we cut back to Madame. As you're walking behind Fallon, you can see he's moving into different med bays and yelling out to students. He's saying, "Hey, med facility is closed today. Everyone out. Classes are canceled. Head on home." And you continue moving behind him. After going around one of the corners, one too many, You accidentally bump into the back of Fallon as he had suddenly stopped right there. And he turns around and he's like, "Oh, madame.
Yes, how you doing?
I thought you were going down in the basement."
I was, but I felt it was more important to clear all the students out first before I head down there.
Give me a fast talk.
Extreme success.
Wow. And he says, "Of course, makes perfect sense to me. Of course, a lady has no place down in the bowels of a morgue." And,
I'm glad you understand, sir.
and he says, "How about this? I'm heading down this way to. They told me Wheatcroft is being kept down here. I'm moving there to bring his with a couple med students. We're going to be getting him to a better facility." As well as, would you like to go down the other wing, the east wing, and let them all know class is canceled and to get him out of here?
Of course.
All right, and he nods his head and he begins to move down the west wing towards where the Dr. Wheatcroft is. And you can see as he's doing it, he's leaning in doorways and telling people to head on out.
I'll talk to one of the students and I'll say, "Hey, go get the students from the west one and tell them to evacuate too."
And the student nods his head and he's like, "Of course." And he says, "Why? What should I tell him? What's going on?"
Just tell them there's intruders on campus or something. We want everyone evacuated.
There's a shooter, an active shooter?
I didn't say an active shooter.
Oh, okay.
Calm down.
All right.
Yeah, I'm too excited.
And he runs down the hallway screaming active shooter. No, I'm just kidding. So,
We got a school shooter.
and then you're gonna, and anything else you're gonna do?
And then I'm gonna follow him.
Right,
When he's out of eyesight.
Give me another stealth check and see if you got.
I'm gonna actually get it.
You see what he looks like? He turns into a room on the last, at the end of the hallway that you think might be, We cut back to the basement. Barnabas, we'll say you're about 15 feet from this door, completely dark, lights off, inside. What do you want to do? You see big, puddles of blood streaked into the darkness.
Did I pull out a
That
flashlight?
was
Do you have a torch?
No.
I don't have an inventory, so I don't really know what I have.
I would assume as an investigator I have a flashlight.
We'll say that. Give me a luck roll. See if you packed your flashlight.
Alright, where's my dice?
You pass your luck roll?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll say you have a flashlight.
Cool. I have a flashlight that I pull out.
And the priest also has some candles that have little holders that you can move and use to light. What'd you say, Tyler?
I do the thing with my gun where I...
That's all. Candles.
Yeah, you do your the cool thing with your gun.
Kimbo.
What?
The Kimbo,
Okay.
that's what they called it.
Exactly. You look pretty badass. So
Yeah.
who is going first?
Barnabas is.
So Barnabas, you move over to the wall of black as you begin to. Do you have any flashlights or anything?
No, but I am also holding a two-handed 12-gauge shot.
All right, and as you hold your shotgun at your side, you move into the black room. Give me a listen roll.
It was a hard pass.
All right, you move in with a hard pass. You can hear as you move into the room, still completely dark. You hear what sounds like this, just kind of some light slopping, some light smacking, some crunching. Coming from somewhere within the room. And with a hard pass, you can say that as you enter in the room, it sounds like it's coming from the right-hand side of this. You can't gauge how big the room is, but it's coming from your right side.
Can everyone still see me from the light from the door?
And Barnabas, yeah, with the light from the door, that's all the light is pretty much casting a spotlight on you. Barnabas is the outline of the frame. Is the only place where light's passing through. And you see Barnabas kind of look over to his right as soon as he takes a couple step in and just kind of look into the blackness.
I hand the flashlight to the guard that was right behind me, and I motion from the light the area over there.
That can be me.
All right.
I can handle the flashlight and hold my pistol.
All right, give me a stealth check as you do that, Barnabas.
I'm taking the flashlight
Yep.
and I'm going behind him with my gun and the flashlight.
All right, so Sam moves in. Barnabas, you have your shotgun out, right?
Yep, I've had my shotgun.
As Sam moves into the room, the beam of light sweeping across this dark room, there it spots. You see what looks like this these two crumpled bodies. One of them, the whole side of its face completely gnawed off. And there is this hunched figure lying over it. You can see bullet wounds tore into its body, yet it continues to move and consume, just rip into the flesh of this body standing there. And as the light sweeps over and stops on the creature stops and it's just quiet. Like it was like, and it just stops and freezes.
I guess this is a good time to fire.
All right, and it's just quiet for a moment. And as it turns around in a split second, you see Barnabas just unload his shotgun. Give me a shot, Barnabas.
That's an extreme success.
All right, and he's gonna try. He gets to make an opposing dodge.
Barnabas, the Slayer of
Fails.
Undead.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
Attacks 2, so I get to attack twice.
Yeah, sure. You do get 2 attacks. Go ahead.
So here's the first one, which is 17. And here's the second shot as I rack another round. And I hit for a regular success.
Okay. Yep. That's definitely. It gets to try to dodge the other one too. Give me a second. It fails it as well. Yep. You got both shots. Go and roll damage. As you just bam, bam, unload 2 shots into the back of this creature.
30 damage.
30 damage, and you see the first, each shot, the first one, as soon as it catches it in the right arm, it kind of staggers for a moment, gives like a shriek and a screech, turns around and starts moving towards you at rapid, inhuman speed, Barnabas, and the second shot catches it right between the eyes as its body's flown back, splatters against the wall, and crumples down into a heap. It reeks in here as you just stand here staring, Barnabas, your gun's still smoking, and is completely motionless.
Damn.
That's enough out of you, Pilgrim.
Give me a drink, bartender.
That was good.
I looked to see if it's Leader's old body.
Yeah, and you move over and investigate it. You're definitely remembering from earlier. It does look like what was Leader's body, but definitely has a bunch of bullet holes riddled in it.
I'd like to investigate the other 2 bodies, and
Sure.
have my 45 pulled out.
All right.
I would have just.
I'll bring candles into the room to start casting some light into the scene.
Gotcha.
I will put a few bullet holes in the head of the one, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson, without a word, walks over to the 2 bodies and instead of bending down investigating, he takes out his gun and double taps them. And you can see each shot going into the body of this mafia member kind of jolts, but then remains still.
I want to loot their bodies.
And you start looting the body. We cut back to Madame Moriar, or whatever she said in the beginning. So, Madame,
Yeah.
did you roll your stealth?
I failed.
Failed. Are you gonna do anything about it?
That's too high for my luck.
All right. So as you move around the corner and kind of sneak in, you look around in the room. I'll say this. How about you move up to the room, the last room on the right, which is the one that Dr. Wheatcroft. He said he pointed. That's where he was gonna go. You hear voices of Dean Fallon talking to someone. Do you want to enter the room or?
I don't want to enter that.
All right. So yeah, you don't enter the room, and you can see they're sitting there. You can hear the voices saying. You can hear what's clearly Fallon, and he's saying, "I just don't know what's going on here, but I think we got to get Dr. Wheatcroft out of here. I don't want to take him to the hospital. Too many questions, so I actually want you to just keep it quiet and keep him here and stay with him." Yeah, one of your bracelets kind of rattles and horrible timing, and you hear it gets quiet, and then Dean comes to the door, and he kind of almost runs into you, and he says, "Oh, madame, you already got the east wing cleared."
Well, that's what I'm doing now. Isn't this the east wing?
This is the west wing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know directions very well.
He kind of sits there. Give me a deception real quick. I'm a woman, so
I'm just a.
he uses it for that too.
I'm not very good at directions.
That's an extreme
Totally
pass.
works.
An extreme pass.
I'm a good fast talker.
And he's like, oh, okay. And he sits there for a second, kind of looking at you, kind of searching for something in your eyes. And then he goes, all right, understood. Well,
So you wanted me to go that way?
Yes. And he kind of sits there for a moment. And he says, "Why don't you go that way and let you know."
Okay, yeah, I'll let them all know.
All right, and he nods his head and he turns around, and the door that he just came out of, he shuts the door and locks it with the key ring, and then puts it on his belt, and he says the medical staff are sending people on their way, and he says, "You quick, warn the others. I'll be with you guys soon."
All right.
All right, and you go back to the East Wing and start warning them.
No.
As you,
I walk away. And
yeah, you start walking away, and as you can hear his footsteps. He goes out one of the exits in the building and disappears away. So, do you want to follow him, continuing?
I'll continue trying to follow him.
All right, so you turn back around as soon as he's gone, and you're gonna follow him. Give me another stealth
It's
check.
gonna eventually work.
So we're gonna cut back to you guys in the morgue as Jackson just finishes double tapping. You go over them. Each of them does have a gun.
Yes.
And one of the mafia men, he does. It looks like he has a sawed-off shotgun
I'll take the
underneath his
sawed-off
trench
shotgun.
coat.
That's pretty cool.
So you can go ahead and add a 12-gauge sawed-off shotgun. How about just to make the story nice and flow nice? You hand back Barnabas's handgun,
Okay.
and you pick up the 2 handguns from the mafias.
Okay.
So you have 2 handguns. What do you guys want to do here in the morgue?
I start to I pull out my book and start to say some silent or near silent prayers over the men.
I love it.
I turn on the lights.
Yeah, you turn on the lights. You move over, and there's like a light switch. It's kind of deeper in the room, hard to find, but you do turn on the lights, flooding this room. Looks like some kind of storage facility with a bunch of like different things to mummify a body. I don't know the right terminology, but you know.
Prepare the body.
Embalm the body. I don't know.
Involved. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. Tools, things of that nature.
All right.
We have to get to Fallon quickly.
I agree. Is there anything else on the bodies of the mafia members besides the ammo and like anything that they like would have?
Sure,
Like,
so-
any like
Yeah.
literature or notes on?
Zach, give me a spot hidden as you
Car
look over their
keys.
body.
I like.
Yeah, car keys.
There is. We'll say yeah. You do have their car keys. So you want if you want to add that as well.
Sure.
Put inventory car with 3 good tires.
Yeah. Car with 3 good tires. And one of them also has a big old Bowie knife on him, kind of tucked under. So you do have a big old knife if you want to keep it.
Sure.
You are checking over Leader's body.
Yeah, again.
And as you look over, he doesn't. He's basically naked or whatever's left of him. Doesn't seem to have anything on him, but once again, he has these black veins that almost seem to have gotten deeper and darker that just pulsate and expand throughout his entire body,
Are they still
just under the
pulsing?
flesh. What?
Are they still pulsing?
Yeah.
I guess that was a bad word to use. They're not currently pulsing. It's completely still, but they have grown. Let's say they have expanded. It seems like since the last time you saw his body.
Okay.
All right. So you guys feel like you did a pretty good job at searching these bodies, and there's nothing left to find here. All
I
right.
turn to the security guards and I say, you did a great job there, gentlemen. Thank you.
They're both just completely quiet. They haven't said a word since the whole thing went down, and they're just kind of staring over in the corner where the crumpled bodies are. And one of them kind of murmurs and says, "We'll clean this up."
Thank you.
All right.
Careful that thing doesn't get back up. That's where I start to leave.
Yeah, and you can see it kind of like scares the shit out of the guy. He's like,
We're
wait, come back.
We're not expecting you to.
Can you put another bullet in each one's head? No,
I say, yeah, Barnabas has a shotgun.
Yeah, we'll say that you guys move up the stairs and exit. So back to the lady.
Mm-hmm.
You are following Fallon. You said you succeeded, right?
Hard succeed.
All right.
Damn.
There, as you move out into the cold October air, you see Fallon across the campus with long strides, moving quickly. you begin following him. He seems to go into what looks like the history department. Are you going to continue? You continue following, and you make your way, keeping one step behind Fallon, and eventually he goes into what looks like Leader's old room with Roach. And you want to move up and listen?
Yeah.
All right, and you move up to the door and listen. You can hear Fallon talking to Roach, kind of explaining the situation they got going on and how he needs his help to help keep everything under control. And he's telling Roach about how Wheatcroft needs medical attention, but he can't bring it to the public or the hospital yet, and that he's trying to keep that under control, and that there are seem to be some kind of supernatural things going on, and Roach laughs, doesn't seem to really be taking him seriously. And after talking for a little bit longer, he talks to Roach, and he's basically asking him to take charge of this situation with the wounded Dr. Wheatcroft, and that he watches over that while Fallon goes and starts trying to make some calls, pull some strings, see if he can make sure the situation's under control. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be too much mischief that you're detecting from their conversations. It seems to be more Fallon panicked here about things starting to go south and word getting out, and he's doing everything in his power to keep it under control. You do hear, when he is talking to, one of the last things he says to Roach, he says something like along the lines of, he kind of, I guess you're around the corner. He says, all right, and Roach, just remember, we, at all costs, we cannot let this out. I do not want to lose anyone else, but if it happens, if need be, then we must do everything we can to silence those that know too much. So, please, remember what we talked about. And you hear footsteps coming back towards the door.
I'll get out of the way, I guess. Go
All right.
ahead.
So yeah, and we'll say that you move into one of the nearby doors of like one of the empty offices, and you can see Fallon pass by you as he walks once again, towards the exit of the history department. Do you want to do anything?
I'll just kind of hang around here and see if Roach does anything, I guess.
All right, and after about a minute or two, you hear hurried footsteps as Roach also turns around. You hear him locking his door, and then he begins following towards the exit as well.
I'll follow Roach now.
All right, give me another stealth check. Fail?
Yeah.
All right, and as you start exiting, you start moving after Roach. He gets to the exit of the building, and as you start moving behind him, he hears like the slight clack of your high heels, maybe. And he turns around and he looks off in the distance, and he kind of squints and he says, "Oh, Madame, is that you?"
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, and he kind of sits there and he goes, "Oh, well, I'm off to the." He kind of stammers for a moment as if like he doesn't know what to say. And he says, "Well, I'm headed off to do some work. It was good seeing you."
Now I'll just be like, oh, I thought I saw Fallon come this way. I was trying to track him down. Was he over here recently?
He gets quiet for a moment and stares at you. And after a moment he says, "I believe the dean went back to his office."
Oh, okay, I'll go there. I wanted to go track him down. All right, see ya.
He gives you like a nod, and then swiftly turns around with his coat on and moves out the room. And what are you gonna do then? You can see him heading towards the medical facility.
Okay. I'll wait for a little bit, then I'll start heading towards the medical facility.
All right, so you follow to the medical facility. For the sake of the story, you guys are all exiting the facility, like walking up into the main room where the radio is shot and the med students were, which there are currently no med students at this time. And at that point, the door opens and you see Roach walk in, and in the background is Madame like crouched behind a bench or something. But Roach strides in and gives like a and then he says, fancy meeting all of you guys here. And he looks over at Barnabas and he says, "Is that blood on your face?"
The big disgrace.
No. It's grape jelly.
He gives like a worried laugh, and he says, "Excuse me, gentlemen," and he disappears back towards where Dr. Wheatcroft was. You remember, Madame. And he moves away into the hallways without saying another word.
I'll just meet up with my group.
All right, and you meet up with the group, and you all convene in the medical center here. And at this point, the two security.
my shotgun that I got.
That's a pretty damn good shotgun.
Yeah. Are you impressed?
Yeah.
And the security.
On my last
Yeah.
remark.
The security guards, after giving uneasy glances at the shotgun sawed off, are going to leave and say, Fallon, we're going to go figure out what he wants us to do next. So, that was crazy. I'm going to probably dream about that every day till the day I die. And
I walk up to both of them and I say a quick, blessing over them.
and you see the
Just
skinny.
ease their nerves a bit.
Sure, and as you're leaving the room, the skinny one says, "Father, is Mass still on this Sunday?"
You know I wouldn't miss it for the world, son.
He says, "I haven't been for a few years, but I think this Sunday is the day."
His arms are always wide open for those who are willing.
You can have inspiration for the whole encounter here. So, as you guys, yes, you all reconvene upstairs as the bodyguards are down in the basement. The campus guards cleaning up the mess. What do you guys want to do now? We'll say it's a little past noon, maybe getting close to 12:31.
I'll tell them all about my rendezvous, everything I ever heard.
Gotcha.
I say, so they know something.
I don't know. Fallon seemed pretty clueless. And Roach actually seems like he's not superstitious or whatever. Just a little stitious.
It's a little suspicious.
You see me looking uncomfortable as you describe the whole encounter.
Why are you uncomfortable, Father?
If what you say is true, Madame, then Fallon is not quite the man I thought he was.
What do you mean? He actually,
Yeah,
he did everything.
He said to kill people if this gets out, if it's gonna get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's gonna kill you if you tell people, so be careful.
Yeah, I
little
don't
bit
like that.
A little bit of ad-libbing there, but you do remember him mentioning something about Fallon saying "at all costs,"
Yep.
hinting heavy.
So he does know something.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows where the books are, though, so, or the pages, so.
Maybe he just meant he'll pay us a lot at all costs, right? Right?
Yeah. They'll give you some altar boys.
He perks up a bit at that.
He perks up a bit.
We should probably go confront Fallon.
You want to confront Fallon?
A little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so you guys
Or
are
ransack Roach's office.
One or the other.
We already did that though.
Kinda. He was there.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go over to the mobsters.
Yeah.
So you go to their car. So you guys make your way over to the car. You're just gonna unlock it and get inside.
I'm gonna make sure to put the cap for the wheel air back on.
Sure. Well, didn't you slash it?
No, I just took the little
Oh, okay.
the little cap off.
Sure. And you pop the cap on, but it's still deflated. You unlock the door to the car, and inside here, it looks like there is yet another shotgun that's kind of like hidden in the car, like within reach, but kind of in the center console area. There are also these papers that you remember from last time.
I
And
see.
these-
Does anybody want a shotgun?
I could use
I'll
it.
take it.
Go ahead, Father.
I give it to Madame.
Oh.
Yeah, she
Just
she's
and
cool.
I juke my hand to Father.
Oh.
Because the priest with the shotgun is.
So you're giving the shotgun to the priest?
Yes.
All right.
I tuck it into my attire
say,
and just
Fucking
say,
virgin.
one can't be too careful.
Don't talk about the priest that way.
You should
You
bless
got a
it.
shotgun, or are you just happy to see me?
You go through, so you get into the car and start going through the papers. You can see that they were these two men, Oakes and Shaughnessy, their names on it, that they're from one of the families. It definitely lines up the story that it looks like this Charles leader owes them a bunch of money. They're from Atlantic City. They're here on orders of their boss to get the money back, and at least from someone, and that they think late leader's faking his death. And as you're going through some of their notes, you can see hand-scribbled notes. It looks like they also visited, you can see them kind of taking down notes, Lucy Stone. And as they're talking about Lucy in these notes, they're saying that they suspect that she's lying to them, and she actually knows where Leader hid all his money. And that there's a large sum of money, even more than what they might owe, that they're trying to get out of Lucy. And they have plans here, or later tonight if they had lived, to go to Lucy's house and to get the money out of her by force or not. And it has her address written down.
Ooh, we should go there. But I feel like we should go there and question her about the money.
Of course you do.
Well, listen, I don't really want to go there, though. But for the sake of the mission...
Hey, maybe you'll find the guts to talk to her.
Is the mission what you call your penis?
Oh.
Hey, it is Mission Impossible.
Listen, you...
Right. Say it to my mustache.
Alright, so where do you guys want to go?
I guess we want to go to Lucy's.
Sure.
Alright, so you guys are going to hop in your Model Ts and head over to Lucy's apartment. So, as you guys head over, you do see her exact address, and as you walk in, the woman at the reception...
I can actually write it down in another book that I have.
Sure, and you double... Yeah, there's like a strand of hair and some other things inside of it, but you quickly close it up before anyone else can notice. And, what'd you say, Steve?
I said, what's that?
There's like a... He says what's that as you open up your diary.
Can I do a spot check?
Sure, give me a slide. Are you trying to keep concealed your...
Oh, 100%.
Give me a stealth check as you try to hide it. Like, you take out your note, you write down her address, and there's probably a bunch of other weird stuff in this book.
What?
That would be...
Stealth or... Doesn't matter, it's going to be a fail either way.
Okay.
I pass.
Alright, so yeah, he quickly, before you can see anything about it, he tucks it away.
What?
I didn't see anything.
Alright. You were asking me a question.
You did see he had some in his hands, but he conceals it. So, you guys all get your tea, and you move over to Lucy's apartment. The receptionist lets you right in as soon as you say you're here to visit Lucy Stone, I assume with the apartment number.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, we totally did that.
And she sends you up, and you go and knock on the door with a nice... And there's no answer.
I will.
And you said that the reception said she's in.
I try to open the door.
You go to the door and try to turn the doorknob, and it's locked.
No surprise.
Well, that's all I got.
I go to the reception
And you come down, she says yes.
and I put on a, oh my god, my friend Lucy, I think she's in trouble. Do you have a key so I can get into her room?
And she kind of give me a deception.
Fast talk.
That's
Fast talk, yeah. Well, actually, it's not. It's, it might even be better for you. It's the persuasion. Give me a persuasion.
Oh my.
Hard pass.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
That's pretty impressive. So she immediately looks scared by this, and she says, "Should I call the police?"
No, let me see what's wrong first, and then I'll let you know.
And she says,
I kind
"Okay."
of usher the rest of the party out of the way, so we're not just standing there next to her door.
And you guys move all clear out of the way, kind of maybe around the corner and such. And the woman grabs some keys and says, "All right, follow me." And the receptionist starts marching up the stairs towards Lucy's dorm. She comes over to the door and says, "All right, quick, do you want to go in first then, since you know her?"
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. And she comes over and pops in the key and unlocks it and throws open the door. And immediately the stench that hits you is pretty gnarly. She gives the receptionist gives a couple coughs, and then the light is on in here, so it's very well lit. And as you look inside, it looks like a bunch of stuff has been thrown around and heaved like a big mess. And the receptionist gives like a gasp and says, "Oh no!"
So this is no place for a lady. Why don't you go downstairs and I'll see what's going on and let you know.
She says immediately. She takes a couple steps back and says, "Yes, I'll get the cops." And she starts moving away.
Okay. And then I'll go into the room. Or I'll wave the guys over.
Yeah, and he waves you over. You guys see the receptionist disappear in a hurry back down the stairs. And you guys make your move and move in close?
I move in.
Who's going in first?
Barnabas going in first.
Barnaby.
Barnabas with the shotgun, classic. You move into the room. Once again, a bunch of things have scattered all over, thrown about. Yes, Barnabas, you make your way into the room. Give me a stealth check. All right, so yeah, you quietly step in, no sound, shotgun at the ready, and as you make your way into the room, there's only it's a small apartment, but there's a bathroom. You can see its door wide open, and as you look from where you're standing, there's a bunch of blood all in the toilet. You can see a bunch of blood just seeping over the sides, spilling on the base of the toilet. Just the bright red blood as the light in the bathroom is on as well. And there's also another door that's closed. You can see blood streaks on the door handle.
Just slowly shake my head, and I approach the bloody door.
All right, and you approach the bloody door, and you're gonna quietly open it.
Yep.
All right, and as you open the door quietly, you see there on the bed is what looks like the remains of Lucy Stone. Her body thrown across the bed. It looks like blood covered in the sheets, trailing down her mouth. It looks like almost like some black liquid pooling in her eyes as she lies there motionless, completely white. The stench from this second room is much more strong. Give me a sanity check, Barnabas. I guess you can see dead bodies, right?
Yeah, I can see dead bodies just fine.
All right, so yeah, you're cool with dead bodies. So yeah, this definitely makes you sick, but you don't have to roll a sanity check.
I move into the room.
All right, you move in. Give me a sanity check for you.
I would argue this is worse
because I feel like he has a connection to her.
I was gonna say, give me a disadvantage sanity. All right, go ahead and I want you to take a D8 of sanity damage.
Dear Lord.
Boy.
No, that's a 6. But
All right, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna start investigating.
All right, if you're walking in the room too, Father, to see this scene, give me a sanity check. Anyone who enters the room with Lucy Stone's body has to do a sanity.
Lord, Lucy, no.
Is she in the bed?
Lucy, no. Good.
I just lit a menu on her body.
You don't need it anymore?
It's
like a eulogy.
On the body. It just says Gibbs Roadhouse on it.
Reaction to that, and I don't do it.
You cover her eyes with it. Her face is laying on it.
Guys,
She almost looks like
I need some time alone with this body in the room.
Dude, I'm not a necrophiliac.
I say don't touch her. She may be one of them.
I would say I probably wouldn't have the heart to pull the trigger, to be honest with you. I back up.
But she lies there. You do see the menu draped over her face. Like maybe if you were stupid, you'd enter the room and see maybe she's sleeping. Because most of the horrific elements are in her face, but there is a bunch of blood in the room, so it's pretty straightforward. Anything else you guys want to do?
I mean, can I investigate her house or whatever?
Yeah, give me a spot hidden as you move around the house.
I think someone should keep an eye on her while they do this, so I'll do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the heart to pull the trigger, I'm afraid.
So yeah, you guys move around the apartment.
Hey, I passed.
Definitely looks like the living of a single lady. You do see she has some jewelry and stuff as you're looking around.
Jewelry I like.
Yes, it looks like you're
Oh
like
my
this
God.
is kind of stylish. Like,
Oh, nice. I pocket the stylish stuff.
all right, you call
And
it
I'll
stylish.
put some of it on. I'll replace it with mine. Be like, this is a fair trade.
So Jackson is suddenly
How
becomes
it
attracted to
I mean-
Madame.
Maybe don't put incriminating evidence on the dead body, but okay.
But okay.
I don't put it on her body. I replace
bro.
it. Like if I take her ring, I put my ring on, and I put her or my ring where her ring was.
DNA testing hasn't been a thing yet, so I think she's fine.
The police in this town suck.
I think they'd find
Motherfucker.
Jackson semen stained menu and and find that incriminating evidence on it.
There's not that.
You're looking through the letters. You do see correspondence between her and Leader. Love notes. It looks like they've been talking. They're talking. They talk about Hunter and the forging business and how Hunter, is forging this copy of these priceless witch papers, and that they're going to make a fortune off them. And you can see that she seems to be getting progressively worried too about Leader and saying like, you haven't been acting right. Like you've been so worried and paranoid, and that him and her were planning to flee town to take all the money that Leader had saved up in his secret safe. That you do know that there's some kind of safe, and to flee town and start a new life together. As you're doing this, the light in the bathroom, which was bright burning the other moment, it suddenly flickers, and then goes out. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you hear that, all your eyes, maybe anyone who passes by and notices this, you hear this low growling sound coming from the bathroom. These low, it's almost like you can't even tell if maybe it's like some kind of, you don't know what it is, some kind of low gurgling, maybe a drain releasing something, and then for a moment it sounds very clearly like some kind of large, horrid wolf or beast.
Pull out both my pistols.
You pull out both your pistols.
I pull out my shotgun. Well, so the body is still there.
The body's in the other room. We're talking, this is in the bathroom.
Right, okay. So if I'm in the room with so Barnabas is keeping an eye on the body.
Sure.
I yell over, "Hey Barnabas, that body's still there?"
I mean, I've been keeping a pretty close eye on it. Should still be there, yeah.
It was completely motionless. Nothing's changed.
Okay.
Put another round in its head.
Are you gonna go do that?
I pull out my shotgun.
You pull out your shotgun.
Alright. I will pull out my shotgun and move closer to the bathroom.
You move closer to the room. You, at this point, with your spot hidden success, you notice that on the, kind of tucked away underneath some of the letters and all the other correspondence, looks like some kind of business card tucked away in a letter. And the letter's talking, she's talking to someone, it looks like the way the letter header is set up, it's some kind of antique dealer, or some kind of local antique dealer that she's been talking with. And it has an address of our antique shop as well. Yeah, it's a business card, local antique dealer, and the name Wick keeps coming up. Abner Wick.
Abner Wick.
Interesting.
Does it have an address?
It does have an address to a. It looks like to an antique shop.
I grabbed the letter.
You grab it, and it does say that the place is called Unconsidered Trifles. A small antique shop, only a couple streets away. In the what is
Such a
it?
1920s antique shop name.
It is. In Arkham's commercial district, technically. You can see in the letter that you've picked up, it's a response from Wick, with his card still tucked away in it, that he's warning her to stay away from the papers, not touch them, but that any information she has on it to please give back. And it looks like she never responded, but whatever this Wick guy was saying, he was telling her not to touch the papers.
Good. Well, she touched the papers, so...
Alright, and we come back to Jackson. Jackson, as you move into the room, there lies Lucy completely still.
Okay.
You hear no sounds, no movement, she's just lying there. Anyone who's back in the main hallway, you can hear once again, the lights in the bathroom are still out, and you hear once again a low growl resound through the apartment.
Is there a fire escape?
There is a fire escape.
I'm gonna start opening the window and heading towards that.
Alright, you
I've
unlock...
had enough of this for one day.
As the priest currently moves to the window, unlocks it, pulls it up, and starts moving onto the fire escape. What'd you say, Sam?
So all the other lights are on, though?
All the other lights are on, except for the bathroom.
And it's a pull, not a push type door?
It looks like that the bathroom is a push to open the door. Like, if someone were to close it, you would open it up. But the door's wide open, and it's just dark inside.
I close the door.
Alright, he moves over to the bathroom, close the door, and as soon as you close it, it just becomes very quiet. You don't hear any growling or anything. And then what do you...
I fucking what's that Olympic runner? I just shoot through the door.
You just unload in the door?
I'm shooting through the door.
Yeah, you unload, pop, 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 into the door. It's just quiet for a moment as everyone kind of covers their ears so the really loud sounds. And Father, as you're moving out onto the fire escape, from, you're a couple floors up, from where you are, you see in the distance from across Arkham City, you hear the distant wail of police sirens and some flashing lights as cars seem to be making their way across the city. Only one.
I shout into the window, "The pigs are on their way, no offense."
The priest yells it.
Irish accent.
Remember that.
The Irish priest, exactly.
Lord help me.
The pigs are on their way, boys. God help us.
Yeah, and you just hear the hurried sound of, shoes against metal rungs as I make my way down to the cars.
All right, and he starts making his way down the fire escape. What does everyone else want to do?
I start making my way down too.
You're making your way down?
Yep.
Jackson follows. Barnabas, you going down?
Yeah, I'm going down.
All right.
So I feel like jumping out of the roof backwards to make sure she doesn't jump out and get me.
Gotcha. And you're doing what?
I'm making sure to grab all the letters or whatever.
And you collect all the letters, all the evidence you think that might be helpful, pack it up into your little pack, and then your little purse, and then move your way down, making sure not to trip with your heels as you descend the fire escape. Sam, you're still up here. You can see your last ally go through the window.
I heard no commotion from the other side of the door after I shot this.
After you went bam, 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 shot through the door, and it's just quiet. And at that moment, your teammates are slowly exiting.
Yeah, I'm falling.
All right, so yeah, you follow through, and as you begin, you swing one leg out of the window, and that's when you can hear around the corner is a low growl starting to permeate once again.
I don't go out the window. I go back down to talk to the receptionist.
Okay, so you're the only one going down. I didn't realize. So you go out the front door. What?
I say I go out the window too.
All right.
I wanted to go out the front door too, actually.
Okay, so Sam and Madame go down to the reception, and as you move in, you can see the woman still on the phone, and she's like, I know, and I heard gunshots too, and as you guys make your way into the room, she says, oh my God, are you guys okay?
We're fine, but it looks like Lucy's already dead.
Lucy's dead, and she seems shocked, and she says, the police will be here any moment. I have them on the phone. And you can hear like an operator, like, just stay on with me.
And I'll just be like, I'm too much of a mess, and I'll pretend to wipe my eyes like I'm crying, and then I'll run out the...
All right, and you run out the room, and then Sam?
I'll say, oh, both my lovers. I'll fall, and then I'll fall over.
And then I yell out, I'm not his lover.
Quick, they're having threesomes. So, yeah, you guys all exit the building and over to your cars, and we'll say from a distance you guys watch as the police car pulls up. The man exits and hurries with a jog into the building. What do you guys want to do? Where do you want to go?
I guess
We'll say it's about 2 p.m.
I'd say we want to go to this inn.
I say, yeah, we should go to the antique dealer.
Sure.
All right, so you guys head over to Unconsidered Trifles.
At the end of this, the cops are going to be like, where the fuck is this priest?
This legendary priest that evades them. So, you guys make your way down to the business section of Arkham City. You make your way outside this nice little dainty antique shop. Let's see. There's a nice little sign outside that says Unconsidered Trifles. And as you make your way in, a little dinging from the bell marks your entrance. And after a couple moments, you see the woman up front at the register gives you like a curt smile and says, "Welcome to Unconsidered Trifles. Are you here to buy or sell?"
We would like to talk to Mr. Wick, please.
And she kind of gives like a smile and says, "Oh, of course, Mr. Wick."
We have an item of note.
Oh, give me a moment. She almost like, as soon as you say that, she goes, "Oh, then he will definitely want to see this."
Yeah.
And she disappears.
As she does that, I go, that was pretty easy.
She disappears into a door behind the counter. And after about a minute or two, she returns, and up comes this pudgy, shorter man enters the room, He is starting to go white on the edge of his hair, and he puts his hands on the counter, spreads them wide, and he says, good evening, gentlemen. What do you have here? Why, I heard you have brought a special item. Maybe papers?
I have, what?
What?
I slide him the business card, and I say, a Miss Stone gave this to me and said you might be able to help me.
She picks it up, he picks it up, looks over the paper for a moment, and then his eyes dart back and meet yours. And he says, you have been spending time with Lucy Stone?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm well aware of her ventures, I would say.
He kind of squints his eyes at you and says, how well do you know her ventures?
Well, I'm well aware of her, I say, goals with a Mr. Leader and a Mr. Hunter, so to speak.
When you, say Hunter too, he just kind of stares at you for a moment and then slowly sets down the paper and he says, what is it exactly you brought me?
I say, well, we were hoping that we could pardon you for a moment of your time.
He says, he kind of hesitates for a moment and then he says, all of you, you have all been hanging out with Lucy Stone.
Yes.
And he says, come. And he walks over to the door, throws open the door to the back, and kind of motions for you guys to come behind the counter and follow him to the back of the room.
Okay.
Are you all doing that? All right, so you all move into the back of the room. He takes you, it looks like a cluttered office space back here. There seem to be more doorways leading out, but he takes you into what looks like some kind of small office. He pulls up some chairs, just enough for everyone to kind of sit around, and he sits you all down and he says, well, if I'm getting a sense that you know more than you're putting on here. What, can you show me what you have brought me?
And I kind of say, well, we were hoping to bring you the papers.
The papers.
You know which ones I'm talking about.
And he gives a smirk and he says, what is your name?
They call me Jackson.
Jackson. Listen, Jackson, you seem to be a smart man. You and perhaps your friends. Jackson, there are big things at play here, Jackson. Dangerous forces in the world. I'm not sure what all you know or what your mind can comprehend, but
we've seen a few things.
have you touched the papers?
No, but I'm aware of people that have.
Do you know where they are?
I do not.
He rubs his chin, and then he turns around and looks up.
We could bring them to you for...
He, as soon as you say that, he kind of cuts you off before you can finish your sentence. He says, the papers are extremely valuable, and if you bring them to me, I will buy them at quite a fine price. I will make you rich beyond your wildest dreams.
Is there like an insight?
Sure, yeah, there's a psychology.
I would like to see if he's lying right now, as in he has the papers and
Sure,
he's saying
go ahead.
I would buy them off you.
Yeah, that's a 99, bro.
We got the two highest.
Yeah!
He says, there are dark forces at play in these witch trial papers. There are more than they let on, than meets the eye. And as
I pipe in at that point and say, we are well aware of that.
And he gives he kind of nods his head slowly and he says, I can see it in your eyes, Father, that you are definitely well aware of this. He says the papers, right, they have some kind of force. The ancient witch that found the witch trial papers, an ancient hag, has put some kind of curse upon them. And there's some kind of horror that manifests within the ink of the paper and has begun to spill out into our reality. And if enough time goes by and those papers are not found, that force will be fully unleashed onto the world. Whatever you've seen is just the beginning phases, and it is going to get much, much worse to destroy the world. This ancient being that lives in the ink, bound by the curses of this witch, will make its way at the course it is currently on to the outside worlds.
I say, who... So then we need to know, because there is a piece of information I did not share with you up until this point.
What is it?
Lucy Stone is dead.
Lucy Stone is dead?
Mm-hmm.
How did she die?
In a pile of blood.
I kind of snap, exasperated at Jackson. They're all dead, you fool. Everyone.
Anyone who gets in the way of Mason's curse, she is the one who brought about this evil being. Anyone who touches those papers, I'm sure you're well aware, are fucked. So,
do you know how to handle the papers?
I am not 100% if I'm being honest with you. Whatever these dark forces are, they are beyond human comprehension. But if there's anyone who's able to do it, it's going to be me. For there's only a couple of ways I see it to handle this curse, and one of them I might be able to create some kind of seance, some ritual to evacuate the curse from the papers. For you see, I mean, the only other option I could see is maybe taking the papers and storing them away forever, just like they were before they were found. It wasn't until recently when the Hop House, that's a last name, Hop House, when the old man Hop House died, and they came and took away his papers, his relatives, long lost relatives, and released it back into the world by, from the basement of this man's ancient manor.
Okay.
Do you have any idea of how we could safely bring it here? Because obviously we don't want to touch it, so is there...
He kind of looks at you with like a emotionless look, and he says, I honestly can't tell you, but, if you can bring it to me within a timely manner, I will make sure that I save you before it gets too bad. I don't know what else to promise
You're
you.
gonna go crazy.
What can I say?
Make you not go crazy.
What can I possibly say
Okay.
that will ease your mind other than you might be fucked? Because that is the truth.
You could ease my mind by saying, here are
Sure,
some
here
special
actually,
gloves.
and he reaches in his thing. Here are some gloves. Trust me, the ancient malevolent being from that's the beyond time cannot make it through these gloves.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Sure.
A little better.
Now go get the paper. No, just-
How long could
Here you
one
go, Barnabas.
Anti-Eldritch horror gloves.
yeah, your eldritch horror gloves.
OSHA approved.
Well, I have been trying to track the papers myself. And
Any clues?
he sits there and thinks for a moment. He says, from what I know, the last time the papers were found were somewhere when he died in his office. I don't know. I've never been actually to the university. Only my sources tell me what I know. But my sources tell me that it's probably down to 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at least me personally, I think that it's either going to be the girl who was there when she found the body, Court is her name,
Yeah.
or the old man that took his job who was also there when the body was found, and he's the one who went through his papers at the cottage. Which I have also been to. I've been to the cottage, and also a devil worshipper that I know of. That is kind of a rogue agent that is going around breaking in. He was, from what my sources are telling me, he has been stalking a lot of the buildings.
I explained the loser student in detail.
Yeah, you explain, and he says, yes, that's the one. That's exactly him.
I think that's the guy.
Anthony. He is.
Yeah.
We should
boy.
kill him.
He's a Satan worshiper, so watch out for him. He is rogue. He is nothing but trouble.
And he's a fucking loser.
And he doesn't
No
know much
friends.
about the papers at this point. But at least from what I've heard, but I think if he might know where they are if he doesn't already have them now.
So you think it's
It might be. I think it might be him. It's one of the three. I'm just saying. Whenever I've investigated in this, they have not, from my knowledge, had the papers at the time. But things change.
Do you know where
Time
this
passes.
Anthony lives?
He hesitates for a moment. He reaches into his drawer and pulls out some documents and kind of shifts through them, puts on some glasses, and he says, "I do have an apartment for him.
Okay.
So, but I currently have it staked out right now, and he's currently, at least from the last I've heard about, I have a trail on him, so I can get you, if you give me enough time, I can get you to him no matter what. So, is that what you guys want to do? You want to? I was playing things. So you said Lucy Stone's dead, correct?
yes.
That makes two, Leader and Lucy Stone, that they're dead.
And Hunter.
Who Hunter is dead, and he kind of looks surprised by this, and he says, the one that was forging the papers.
Right.
Interesting. He says that is three then. Horrible. Things are getting worse, and I fear that it is only going to ramp up at an exponential speed.
So if they have the papers, would we expect them to be dead soon? In the sense of
That is a good assumption, I will not lie. If someone's touched the papers, they're probably on their way out.
Do you have any information on Amelia?
Amelia. And he kind of looks through and he looks through his papers. He goes, Amelia is a good student from what I've seen. She seems to be of good moral character, but I do not have a whole lot. That is what I've been doing over the past couple of days here. I've been trying to look into her background, and what kind of shocks me there is it is hard to find much about her ancestry or anything of that nature, which is really what I'm interested in.
What about the morgue guy?
The morgue guy. Who is?
Witchcraft. Wheatcroft.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
He's someone that mysteriously went ill, so I'm a little worried about how he
Where-
touched the papers.
Where is he located?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
You don't know where the guy wheat can or whatever you said. You don't know where he is.
No, that's what I was asking you.
I don't know where he is.
Okay.
Give me a deception.
I asked him about Fallon. What do you think's of Fallon?
I failed.
Yeah, and he kind of just, looks at you for an extra second and then turns his attention over to you and says, Fallon, it is not Fallon. He is but a cold, bumbling idiot. So, he could be a problem depending, but whatever I say, do not give the papers to him or else it is only going to make matters worse.
Okay.
So
So you said Anthony, Amelia, and who was the other one?
and Roach.
Roach.
One of the professors at the university. He is the one who went through and cleared out Leiter's cottage, which could be where he found some important information for where the papers might be. So, he lays out some files. He says, I do know where Amelia Court lives. I do know where Roach lives off campus. I have gathered all this information here. But I don't. And I know where the Anthony lives. But he's being trailed, as I said. So, yes, and I've just been doing some research on the others. So, Roach is the one I know least about, if I'm being honest. So, have you been to the university?
Yes, we questioned him.
All right, and what do you think? Let me know what you say. What do you think of him?
He seems like he doesn't believe in magic type stuff.
And he gives like a grim look, and he says, either he is a complete liar or he is bound to die.
I asked him, do you know anything about a mirror?
A mirror. I am not familiar with any specific mirror.
Okay. There was a suspicious mirror in Leader's office that we looked at.
Interesting. And any notes about it that I should know?
Not really. It's kind of stuck on the wall, so
Oh, interesting.
it's not really antique worthy for you to sell.
Well,
I kind of chuckle.
He doesn't chuckle at all. He just stares at you.
No.
And he says, I do not know about this horrible aberration that is bound to the ink of this paper, but I can't imagine what someone succumbed to the beast or the creature possessed, what would happen if one were to look in the mirror when such an event were occurring. A possession, let's call it.
You're saying
As this beast is beginning to branch out, to extend its feelers, and to take on human hosts who have touched the papers.
if you find anything out, can we call you?
Of course. And
Okay.
he gives you he writes a number on a piece of paper.
I
and
have your
hands it to
business card.
you. Oh yeah, and you have the business card. And he says, please, do not give the papers back to Fallon. That is only going to cause more chaos as this, whatever this being is bound within the ink, begins to unleash and take more lives. It is going to cause more havoc.
Okay.
You need to get them to me, or else shit's going to hit the fan.
How do you know so much about these papers?
Guys, Dean Fallon's a good guy. Shouldn't rush to judgment. Sorry, what?
He looks over at you and he says, at the madame, and he says, how do I know so much about these papers? And he kind of trails off for a moment and he goes, I am a well-informed man. I have many people below the streets, below the very stones on your feet, underneath your feet, that do my research for me. I'm very much well-informed. So I have no other way to tell you but that. But I have my ways. I got people. And I have made it my business to find these papers.
Okay. How long have you been looking for the papers?
He says, as soon as I found out that they existed, back in, July.
Did who contacted who out of you and Lucy and them?
I actually, Lucy, I spoke to Leader first. Leader approached me, wanting to sell me the papers.
Is that when you found out about the papers, or you already knew about them?
That is when I found out about the papers.
Okay.
Was the history professor trying to sell them to me, and I immediately began to heavily acquaint myself with it, with him, and I thought honestly we had some more time, but things went south real quick, and before I knew it the papers were gone. I tried to influence Lucy to help figure out more about this, but she has not corresponded, and it turns out she's dead, so she is a dead end, but she was just a means to an end, I guess.
Alright. I think that's all my
I
questions.
look at Jackson at that statement.
He's pretty like tunnel vision right now.
Television. Yeah. Any other questions, gentlemen? Before the only other thing I'd ask is, do you guys know where Leader's body is?
We do. Why?
He kind of sits there for a moment, almost taken aback by your question, and he says, "I want to know."
Yes. We've already examined it. We can give you any information that you need.
And where is it?
It is being burned.
Being burned. Give me a
'Cause I think
fast
that's,
talk.
I think that's what it's gonna do.
Oh,
right?
sure. If that's what Jackson thought they're gonna. That's not a bad
Yeah.
assumption.
Because I'm
And he
assuming.
says,
Yeah, because I'm assuming they're gonna burn it after all that. You know.
his eyes widen a little bit. He says, "Burn it."
Mhm.
Where is the body again?
Well, they had it. It's probably already burned. To be totally honest with you.
Where at? Where are they burning it?
He said. I just say it's on campus.
On Masatonic University. Very well. All right. Any questions for me, gentlemen?
No.
Perfect. Then make haste, for it is not much longer before this ancient being is unleashed upon society at large.
Okay, so we walk out at that point.
All right, we'll say you guys lock out. Yeah.
I say, so who do we want to go talk to? What time is it?
As you guys look around, it looks like it's about 3 p.m.
Say, do you think we could still catch Amelia on campus, maybe? Probably easier than going to her house.
I mean, they just evacuated the place. We might want to go to her place.
Okay.
So where are you going?
I guess we'll go to Amelia's address.
All right. So you all head over to Amelia's address as it gets to about 3 p.m. And let me. So you come into the main reception once again. You know the deal, and different apartment building. And you're saying what? Like, and you know what room she's in too. Like, you know.
I kind of just wave and say hi. We're visiting Amelia Court.
All right.
Apartment, so and so.
And as soon as you do, she says, "Oh, she's not here."
Oh, where might she be? Where?
She did not say.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. And she nods her head. And you guys, are you gonna continue to walk in? She kind of like doesn't even. She like goes back to her paper and continue writing. Doesn't really.
Did it seem like she
bothered.
was? I'll do an insight or whatever.
Sure.
I don't pass.
You don't pass.
I don't. Pass.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that much luck. Yeah, I don't push it past that unless I kind of look at the group.
All right.
I mean, I'll walk to her door, see if it's at least locked.
All right. So yeah, you go up to her door. As you get so you move your way up the stairs. Hers is on the 3rd floor, and as you make your way up to her apartment building, you get close to her door. Are you gonna check if it's? Are you gonna knock or check?
I'm gonna knock.
Yeah, you knock on the door.
I'll say, Miss Amelia, are you here?
And yeah, as you say this, you do smell almost like what smells like sulfur. Like it's a strange smell that kind of wafts from just the cracks of this door as you're standing there knocking, but no response.
I'll check to see if it's locked.
And you move the handle and it is locked. Locked tight.
I say, guys, I smell sulfur in here.
I run down to the
Yep.
receptionist and I say, Miss, we smell some type of fire or something coming from her apartment.
She kind of glances up from her paper and says, "What? Are you serious?"
Yeah, I'm hurrying. Like, please bring a key so we can.
Give me a fast talk. You can have that with advantage.
Oh, that might be okay. That's my fast talk. Oh dear God.
You have advantage.
I'm aware. I rolled an 8. I was like, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm gonna use 3 luck to make that a pass.
Here's this 5.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna push. So I'm gonna use 3 luck to.
Okay, yeah, you spend 3 luck, and you make it a pass, and she says, "Oh my God, I'll call the police."
Yeah.
So she says, or what? What'd you say?
No, I say fire department.
I'm sorry, fire department. You're right.
Yes. We may want to try to get in there and see if we can maybe if she's trapped in.
Please, and you you made a success. She hands you the keys and says, "Please get in there and do something with this fire, and I'll call the fire department."
Thank you so much. And I run upstairs.
And she's kind of frantically, like all of a sudden her demeanor's change as she's dialing 911, like, "Hello, yes, we might have a possible fire here." And you guys run upstairs. You go to her apartment door, unlock, throw open the door.
I pull out my gun as it happened.
Yeah, you pull out your gun. It looks badass as you make your way into the room. As you enter, this apartment is scattered with books everywhere, scrolls, all kinds of ancient parchment, yellowed with age, tables, just a bunch of pens, things lined out. Near the middle of the room, it looks like some kind of seance circle that's been kind of drawn out and kind of stamped out with candles half melted that line around the inner working of the circle, and it just reeks of this sulfur in here. You're not quite sure what that is. Definitely a lot of. There's also what looks like some kind of I don't know how better way to say it, but there's some kind of small black little pot, or maybe some kind of some black metal cauldron that's sitting on one of the counters in her kitchen. And as you move past it, you can hear almost like bubbling and popping with energy.
I look at it.
You move over and look at it, and as you look inside, there's this green liquid that kind of mulls over and pops up with thick sucking sounds as whatever this is seems to be hot. There's no flame underneath it, but you think this is the source of that sulfur smell.
Okay, I will move and investigate the room. I'm gonna look specifically for any of these like scrolls that might look like the papers.
Scrolls that might look like the papers. So yeah, give me a spot hidden.
That is a fail.
All right. So you fail. Yeah, you do look over. And what was it you were looking for exactly?
The papers.
Oh yeah. So you move around the apartment. Everyone kind of searching. You see as you're looking through papers, looking for them. You see what almost look like, I don't know how else better explain it here either. Spells or incantations. Kind of these things written on paper on how to control a mind or how to transport your mind with someone else. These kind of weird writings, these mad scribblings on these papers. But you do not see the papers as you move through all the work here.
Okay.
I want to look throughout the apartment to see if there's any like signs of life.
All right, and as you clear the apartment, there's only a bathroom and there's a bedroom, as well as this main room. And as you clear it, the bathroom looks very clean, actually, compared to the rest of the apartment. And the bedroom looks pretty bland, not too much going on in there. It looks like it isn't used much. Bad vibe manner.
Yeah.
So, so you feel like you guys have cleared out the entire place.
I'd like to search underneath the bed.
And you search under the bed, and you kind of dip your head under there. Everyone, or did you give me a spot hidden here already?
Yes.
Okay. And so you look under the bed. I mean, it's you're not
build
blind.
a spot hidden for the whole apartment.
Sure. Anyone can if you'd like. You do see as you pass, right, James?
Yeah.
As you move through a paper, something does catch your eye. It almost looks like some kind of it's a different looking paper than the others, almost like cleanly laid out, some kind of like main goal. And in here she has mad writings about how she's planning to discredit Flinders and Roach. She also has what looks like the name Lucy written down, and she has a line drawn through it, as well as Leader drawing through it. And then you also see that Wheatcroft's name is crossed off as well.
Are our names there?
Your names are there too. And it shows all of your names, but they are not crossed off.
Okay.
Oh God.
You also do see, as Madame looks through the paper, that there's some kind of plan she's been concocting, and that she's trying to, the mad scribblings are going on about how she's starting to lose control of this situation. That things are starting to get out of hand. That there's the beast, the eldritch. She keeps calling it the eldritch one. The eldritch horror is starting to move its way out of her grasp. She's losing control, and she also does have a plan that she's going to what she keeps writing down, Hobhouse Mansion. That maybe there's some kind of clue to trap, to corner the beast in the papers, or she keeps writing down that she has a plan to take the forged papers from Hunter's apartment and to extract the beast in the ink, the horror in the ink, and move it into the forged papers. To bind it there. So releasing the papers for her and trapping it in these fake papers. That's what she's planning to do.
So she's saying that the fake papers are at Hunter's apartment.
She
the real papers.
As you look around, yes, that the papers are still at Hunter's apartment. She has it noted there that they're still there and no one's touched them. That she thinks no one even knows that Hunter is. She thinks no one knows about Hunter's situation and that it will go untouched.
Okay. Then we should probably leave here and go to Hunter's apartment.
Alright, is that what you guys are... And in the distance you hear some different distant alarm sirens of police cars. Alright. So you guys are going where?
We're going to...
See Hunter.
See Hunter?
I'm going to pour out the green liquid onto the floor.
Alright, you pour out the bubbling green liquid and it splashes onto the floor, giving like as soon as it hits the tile, it gives like a steaming sensation, hissing sound, as it seems to almost begin melting through the ground, through the linoleum floor.
Alright, and then I leave.
And then you leave. And we'll say you guys all exit, once again passing as the firemen start running in frantically, the woman at the reception calling them and waving them on to her apartment, while the rest of you guys coolly walk out into your car and drive off. So, you guys are going where now?
First we need to go to the hardware store to get the bolt cutters.
So you're going to the hardware store?
Yeah.
Well, you still have bolt cutters.
Oh, okay, alright.
You had that from earlier.
Yeah, so we go up to the back door this time,
Uh-huh.
and we cut the lock off.
The back door of,
Always preferential to the fire escape.
Yeah. It's a Hunter's apartment.
Alright, so yeah, you go to Hunter's, like, he has an apartment, and you want to do what exactly? You're gonna...
Because remember we were trying to go in the back door before to cut the lock.
I understand. So yeah, you go over to the back door, and you're gonna try to cut the lock. Give me another stealth check as you do this.
Is the lock still off?
Yeah, it looks like the lock has been replaced. It's a completely brand new lock. But Jackson once again comes up to
I want to go up to the... Nah, never mind, I won't do that. I was like...
Perception.
I was gonna distract you, but then I couldn't get in with you guys. So I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
What am I rolling to
I want a stealth.
stealth?
Actually, yeah, I'll go distract
So
you.
you're gonna distract?
And I'll just be like, hey, ma'am, I'm here to see Hunter.
You can roll with advantage on that, by the way.
Great, I need it. Oh boy. I don't have enough luck.
Okay.
I'm going to push the roll.
All right, go ahead.
Can you tell me what would happen if I fail?
Yeah, we'll say that if you fail the pushed roll,
You die.
then there's nothing that Madame can do that she could possibly do to stop the situation. If you push the roll and fail, then it's probably gonna be bad. Like.
Alright, I won't push the roll then.
Alright, so we cut over to Madame as you walk in the front, entrance, and the woman kind of looks up. Right, so as you walk in, she says, yes, can I help you?
Hi, I'm here to see Hunter.
See, Hunter, well, he's been gone for a couple days now, I think vacation. And as she's saying this,
Yeah.
you hear a distant clack and some breaking of metal, and she kind of goes, oh, what was that?
I don't know. That was weird. But you haven't seen Hunter around. I'm really worried. I'm his girlfriend, and I haven't seen him in a long time.
Give me an advantage.
Like, when was the last time you've seen him?
Give me an advantage fast talk.
I passed.
Alright, and she says, oh, you're Hunter's girlfriend.
Yes.
Oh.
And I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm really worried about him.
Oh, and she almost looks worried about this too. She goes, he never said he was going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So that does worry me. Here. And she looks around left to right and then takes out a key and says, here, if you want to go check up on the place, just bring this back to me.
All right, thank you.
She hands you the key. And as you start moving to the back and go to the stairs, you see the back door slowly creep open, and there's Jackson. And there's Madame standing there with the key.
I wave.
So,
A high five for James's womanly wiles.
exactly. I'm his girlfriend. I like that. That was a good point. Yeah, you guys make your way up to Hunter's room. You open up the door, and in here, it looks like, once again, the place looks trash.
Can I go back to the receptionist and be like, I'm a little worried he's having an affair, and I describe Amelia Court. Have you seen her around here?
She sits there and taps her chin, and she says, that is definitely, there are many people who look like that, but there has been someone that's been asking around. What's the name?
Amelia Court?
Oh, that's not the name that the woman I've talked to.
All right, thank you.
No worries.
And I'll go back up to his room.
All right, and you go back up to the room. So
should have asked if it was Lucy. As you get back up here.
So yeah, you guys come upstairs and you enter the room, trashed. What you do notice here is there's a bunch of writing all over the walls, very similar to what was the writing in his cell, just kind of plastered all over the wallpaper. And there on the main desk, there's not much furniture in here. It definitely looks like a bachelor pad. On the desk, there's a bunch of papers strewn out, and it looks like some kind of witch trial papers. And if you didn't know much better, you would think this is what you came for.
I go, oh,
This is what
interesting.
we're here for. Barnabas, here's some gloves.
Yeah.
These are some powerful secret gloves.
As soon as he sees that, I like immediately go over to the papers and start reading them.
All right, and as you start looking through them, they seem to be.
Does he have the gloves on?
I do not have the gloves on.
Yep. So he picks them up, and you start reading through them. These collected papers are handwritten documents. They seem to be dating back to the early 1700s. They seem to be records of personal correspondences between Juris Caleb Hobhouse and a number of notable legal and spiritual authorities in colonial New England. So it's around the 1690s, and it keeps referencing these the witch panic. But there are pictures on these witch trials. Some of them drawn out. The one with the gallows, like where they hung the witches. You do see what looks like a drawing of a New England hillside. Once again, with a gallows up on the top hill. But you notice something. Give me a spot hidden. Maybe you notice.
I think I would spotted.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah. As you're looking at these pictures, they seem to be like the pictures are very detailed. What you almost like as you're looking at it looks like whoever drew them did it with like traces of blood. Because there's black ink here, but amongst it kind of mixed in as this low crimson color. Really in the pictures is where you're noticing.
Make sure not to touch any of the ink.
Gotcha. You don't tell. Yeah, you make sure not to touch the ink. These look like these witch trial papers, but the pictures in the witch trial papers here are what's really standing out to you and giving you a shudder. They look very eerie, like smeared with blood on them.
When he grabbed it, I grabbed my weapons. I didn't point them or anything, but I definitely.
Yeah,
grabbed
I
my
definitely
weapons
understand what you're
You got your weapons.
I like that on them. I say if anything happens, you have permission to shoot me.
You.
Anything you say.
well, if I start going crazy like leader, you have permission to shoot me.
He's coming right for us.
Here, I'm gonna message you something,
Okay.
Seth.
Interesting. You didn't have the gloves on.
And gloves.
Yeah.
And you're in this one-room apartment, but there's not a room apartment. You're in this main room where all the writing and the papers are, but there is what looks like some kind of hallway going off to the side that you can see from at least one door. What looks like a bathroom door, slightly ajar.
I heard the door close somewhere down that hallway there.
Okay.
Immediately the phone rings. And as you look over, you didn't notice it before, there seems to be like an old-fashioned, timey, modern for their time, 1920s. A phone begins to ring, ding.
I'll pick it up
Ding.
and say, Jackson speaking.
And as soon as you pick it up, you hear, you say Jackson speaking, you hear...
I'm starting to freak out now.
They're just low voices whispering. And you hear one of them say, Jackson. It just continues to eerily fade off. Anyone want to do anything? He's just holding the phone, just not saying anything, just quietly.
Yeah.
Slowly pull
So who's on the phone?
I take
There's nobody on the phone. It's super weird.
Yeah, and
Is there a satchel or a bag anywhere?
Put it on
There
speaker.
I'm gonna take the gloves and I'm gonna pick up the papers and put them inside the bag.
I say,
Gotcha.
I kind of hold them and I say, best not to have more than one of us touch these.
I feel for your soul, my friend. And I hand him the bag.
I say, I put them in the bag. And
Gotcha.
yeah, I say we probably should make it back to our friend's place.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are you guys going?
While we're in the car, I take the piece of shard mirror, or the mirror, and put it to my skin. Is it hot?
As you put it to your skin, it does, as you pick up to put it against your skin, it already is very warm.
Okay.
It kind of has this warm, and as you kind of pick it up to put it against your skin, you see you tilt it just ever so slightly, and for a moment you catch in the glimpse You catch a glimpse of what looks like some kind of large, like black inky form, like some kind of large. It looks like it reminds you of a giant, distorted, demonic grizzly bear.
Okay.
Some kind of thing with big, large fangs and red eyes. That just for a moment, as you're tilting it and looking at it, and then you try to tilt it back and recreate what you did, but there's nothing there.
Okay. Well, I think if I looked in the mirror, I saw that form before. I'm pretty sure. Or
It reminds you exactly of that form, just this time much more detailed.
Okay.
Very vividly detailed. Give me an insanity check as you do that.
That is a pass.
Damn. Take 1 sanity point of damage. What do you guys want to do?
I'd say go over to. Well, do we make it over to his place?
So you're going to where exactly?
The antique place.
So you guys make your way back to Wick's place, and I'm curious. So you walk in, and he says, "What'd you find?"
We say, well, we found these papers, and I kind of like take them out of the bag and kind of put them on like a nearby desk.
Uh-huh.
Say, are these what you're looking for?
And he looks them over. His eyes seem. You can see elation in his eyes as he greedily grabs them and picks them up and starts looking through. And he says, after a moment of paging through, like it slowly gets slower, his eyes start to lose the light, and he says, "These are not the papers. These are the forgeries."
Oh.
And he flips them over and looks around, and he says, there's something here, but just an echo. These are not the actual papers.
Oh.
How do you know that?
He looks them over and he says, "I have an inkling for these kind of things. He starts pointing out some small blemishes with some of the writing. He says, "I know the actual papers pretty well, and I would say, I will agree, these are very good. This is a very good forgery. But so he rubs his finger over some of the pictures, and he says, there's definitely something here, but this is not the full thing."
I say that we should probably go confront, see if we can find Miss Court at school.
At school?
Yes.
She is. Oh, you.
Did you find any more information about what's his face, Anthony?
So I have not found any new information on Anthony. I still, from the last I've known, I still have one of my people tracking him. I've not heard back from a little while, but I should get the report later tonight.
When
at
are we
nightfall.
supposed to meet up with him today?
You think you remember? He said meet up with him back at the diner at nightfall. We'll just say probably like 8 p.m.
Okay.
And it's 5 p.m. now.
Then we should
He says, did you go to Amelia's place?
Yes.
Did you find anything?
Lots of stuff.
Like what?
Pretty much what you'd expect from a witch.
A witch?
That's.
He says, he kind of sits there for a moment and thinks, and he says, "I do not think it is happenstance that a witch, assuming that is a witch, that a witch is hunting the witch trial papers."
Yep, we thought the same.
I think it's just a coincidence.
Oh. Well, that's just your opinion.
I want these for unrelated matter.
And so you're going to go to the school to find her?
Yes.
And
confront her about these forgeries.
Perfect. Then, if you be careful though, because if she is a witch, then she probably can cast spells. So you make sure you blow her head off before she takes over your mind and melts it or some shit.
Okay.
All right. Well, get those papers back. I would be shocked if she kept them at the school though. You did not find them at her apartment.
No.
And I would be baffled if she took them to school. So I think she has them somewhere else. Anyways, the only
there was that manor that we read about.
Hop House Manor.
Yeah.
That is where the papers were found originally. The old Hop House. What's his name? So, yeah, Hop House is the guy who died and relinquished the papers to public. You know, basically this descendants who barely knew anything about any of this shit. Released the papers to them. His mansion is where they were found, you know, and confiscated, amongst with a bunch of other ancient in old artifacts and documents. So, you I know where it is. Is that where you're trying to go?
Would you like to confront her on campus first?
I would definitely, if you can catch her, with her pants down, metaphorically.
That would be a great idea.
Sweet. Well, good luck. Anything else you need from me?
No, we'll be back with the real ones.
All right. So you guys head over to Mesotonic University. As you guys, you make your way through the halls down into the history department to where her office is, or not. It's not even her office. She technically was in Leader's office. You look through, you can see her little desk. She has a desk in the history department that she was using. And it is next to Roach's office.
Yep.
And as you look through this desk, well, first off, she's not here.
Okay.
Anywhere, the two places that you think she might be, library, office, she's not there.
Okay. Is Roach in his office?
What do you say? Yeah, and you go over and Roach is not in his office.
Okay.
His door is locked.
I kick his door open.
You do?
Yeah.
Give me a strength check.
That's a fail.
Alright, so you try to take your arm and bash against the door, bang, bang, and the whole door's shaking, but it's not budging. You think you're gonna have to...
I hope.
Alright, give me a strength check over there, Sam. Yeah. And you can roll with advantage as I assume you continue to help him.
Yeah, I help him.
Over there. So you want to push the roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to shoot at it? Well, let's see. He's gonna push the roll.
I fail.
And you hit your arm really hard. Go ahead and take 1 point of damage as you kind of injure your shoulder.
That's fine.
Do you want to? You take out your gun. Do you want to shoot it? You think you could probably blow the handle off, but it's firing a gun, so.
Nah, don't do that.
All right. The door looks like it. Maybe you sat here for a while and started hitting it more. You might be able to get through. Anything else you guys want to do?
I want to search through Amelia's desk.
All right, and you search through her desk. There's not much here. As it looks like everything's very neat, very tidy. Just some homework papers of a very diligent history student. It looks very, nothing that alerts you at all. In fact, it seems almost purposefully done so to evade attention.
Is there students around too?
We'll say that there are some students walking through the history department, just kind of every once in a while.
Can I ask them if they know about where she has any place to hang out, or?
Yeah, and as you walk around, one of the dudes is like, yeah, man, I know Amelia. She's in one of my classes. She hasn't been there. She wasn't at class today. She was yesterday morning, but she never misses class, man.
Okay.
Like, she's always at class, but she wasn't at class this morning, man. And he kind of gives you like a hand, Alpha Kappa, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Right, man?
Yeah, like give him the handshake.
You give him the handshake and the fraternity handshake.
Dude, don't grab his dick. What are you doing? That's so gay.
No, dude, that's the alpha. It's the alpha betas, bro.
Oh.
It's the tongue.
It's a Greek house thing. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. Greek life, bro. Come on. So what do you guys want to do?
I guess we'll go. I feel like we should go to this Hop House Manor.
There we going?
Is it time to meet Anthony though? Might be time to meet
You know that you said 8 o'clock, and right now we'll say it's 6 p.m.
We'll wait around for Anthony, sure.
All right, so you guys wait around. As it gets to 8 o'clock, were you guys going to go to the restaurant and meet him? That's where he said to meet him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you guys go to the restaurant, sit around the table. Around 7:59, in comes Anthony, and he has some papers with him. And he sits down at the table and he says, "Man, you guys, this was really hard to get." And he sets down the piece of paper on the table, and there's a bunch of symbols written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I was able to write down some of the weird symbols in that asylum place. It took me forever to get in there, but you know."
I say, do you...
I give him a solid pat on the shoulder and I say, "You're doing the Lord's work, son."
Yes.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I say, so, yeah, thank you for getting these. These are going to be very helpful for our investigation. Did you learn anything else while you were over there?
He kind of taps his chin. He says, it was definitely creepy in there. Nothing. I didn't learn much. What have you guys learned now?
Well, we found out
How much?
that... What have we told you so far?
He says, well, I mean, yeah, you told me that you were, you're talking to Lucy, and I explained to you that, Fallon is the one who has the papers, right? Mm-hmm. And him and Roach are in it, and that Amelia's a witch, mm-hmm. and that, that's really all we kind of talked about, not a whole lot.
I see. Do you know where Fallon has the papers?
I don't know where he's keeping them, but he's keeping them secret, probably in some underground university safe.
Does that mean anything to me as a university professor?
I mean, it sounds a little bit like of conspiracy talk to you as he's saying it. Like you don't know of any like famous university.
Like he's talking about like Denver airport conspiracies, kinda.
Kinda, somewhere around maybe there. He says, "Whatever it is, man, we gotta get this papers."
What? Yeah, and you don't like Amelia? Is that what I gather?
Well, I mean, I don't like witches.
That's a fair point. How did you find out she was a witch?
Well, I was outside her apartment just a couple days ago, and I saw flashing green lights coming from her window.
Oh.
That's how I knew, man. That's how I knew that motherfucker was a witch.
How do you know that Fallon has the papers?
I told you, him and Roach are in on it. Why wouldn't he have the papers, man?
But
He's probably working with the witch.
But how do you know he has the papers?
How do I know he has the papers? I don't. Listen, man.
I'm curious. How do you know he has the papers?
He says, put all the evidence together. Fallon, do I have to repeat myself, man? He's trying to make the university look good, and he wants to make some money while doing it. He's trying to help, he's a cold bastard who wants nothing but to elevate himself above the rabble. So, I think he's working with Roach, his lover, mm-hmm. and the witch to bring about this whole ending here.
Do you know what the papers do?
I don't know exactly what they do, but I know that there's something locked away inside of it. Something powerful that, I don't know, I've been trying to study it, learn, so I think if you get the papers to me, I might be able to decode whatever's in these papers.
Okay.
Did you say you have any enemies?
Not many enemies. I think everyone likes me. I'm pretty popular at school.
I thought you said that wasn't the case there, Sam.
Yeah. I know otherwise.
You know very clearly otherwise. People think he's weird and they avoid him. At least you know that. But he says, yeah, man, I go to class and, everything's cool.
So, well, thank you. We appreciate that. We, like I said, we can't really share any information because we're being followed.
Oh, you're being followed by who?
I look around and I say there's two mafia guys that are following us.
Two mafia dudes, holy shit.
Yeah, remember I told you the last time?
I do remember them.
Yeah, so we really can't say anything out in public.
Understood. Well, do you guys need some help? You want to go with you? Wherever you're going next? Sounds like you
guys...
We
don't know where we're going yet. We're going to hop in the car and figure it out.
Ah, well, alright then, let's go. And he stands up.
Yeah, but if you see Amelia...
The witch?
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, if you see her around...
Okay.
Or, can you do me a favor and keep an eye on her apartment?
But I'm going with you guys.
But if she returns back there, we need somebody who can tell us that.
You're gonna give me a persuasion.
I'm not very good at these.
I'm gonna step in and say, we can only trust you with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fail.
Alright, he kind of sits there for a moment and he thinks, he says, listen guys, I don't want to just sit around and do nothing. Some desk jockey job or some watch stakeout shit, man. I want to get in the thick of it. What do you guys look like you've seen some shit. I can see it in your eyes. Come on, man. Come on, guys. And he points at Madame. He says, make her do it. She's a woman.
Excuse me?
What did you say, Daniel?
I said, excuse me?
He says,
No, you think he's talking about you?
I said the woman, not you, man.
I tell him, here's what we'll do. If you can keep an eye out for these two mafia guys, you'll know them when you see them.
I say, plus we don't want you.
Yeah, he kind of seems hurt by that last one, and he's like, fine, whatever, guys. I'll go stake out the place. Where should I meet you? If I hear anything, should I? You guys have you're probably gonna be out and about.
Yeah, at your mama's house.
Dude, listen, man.
Yeah, we'll meet you back.
Cut it out.
Just relentless.
Even Jackson's laughing at this.
Man, you guys and your Alpha Kappa crew.
Yeah, so here's what we need you to do.
Watch Court's apartment. Alright, and he stands up and he starts walking out. He says, then I'll see you guys, how about you just want to meet back here tomorrow morning, assuming that everything goes well?
Yeah, we're gonna go and probably get a good night's sleep. And
where can I find you if something does go off?
Let's meet back here tomorrow.
But what if she comes back and starts doing witch shit?
Then call me.
Do you give me your number?
Yeah, but I give him Barnabas' number.
He has my number already.
Sure. He has Barnabas' number. So he said, I'll call you Barnabas.
I told Anthony you just stay at my place, if that's alright with you.
Whoa.
Dude, you got the wrong idea about me.
The police force gets what it wants.
Yeah, I say, how old are you, Anthony?
Old enough.
Old enough to know better?
Yeah, old enough. What? I'm only like what? 20,
I take
23.
him aside and I explain the "don't touch me" square.
I thought, man, shit. I thought I'd have to be. I didn't know I'd learn it from the priest. I thought I had to learn it for the priest.
Oh, I'm trying to break stereotypes.
I can tell. Can I see?
What's a stereotype?
So, Anthony says.
All of us.
Anthony says, yeah, sure. Barnabas, I'll come swing by your house if anything happens. Sound good?
Yeah.
I'll wait there and let you know. So you'll be the first person to know, man.
How do you know where he lives?
You give me your your address, right, Barnabas?
Yeah, and I'll slip him a spare key in case he needs it.
All right.
Wow.
He takes it. He says, "Sounds good, dude. I'll see you probably guys soon. But once again, if I don't see any witch shit, I'll see you here tomorrow morning. If I do, I'm going to Barnabas's place. I'm not even gonna call. I'm just gonna go to Barnabas's and wait.
Yep, that sounds like a good plan. Let him know you're there.
Barnabas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let him know that you're Barnabas.
Not the witch. Gotcha. Sounds good. Then I will go do that. And he stands up and he walks out.
I give Barnabas' social security number. I'm kidding. I just
Nice.
Fuck off.
Yeah, we so I'm guessing we go to the Hop House.
Hob house? Mm-hmm.
Hop House, yes.
Is that where you guys going? All right. So you hop in your tees.
I look behind me and see if the dude's following us.
Give me a spot hidden. And it is a half-hour drive out of town, Hob House. But it's definitely within reach. And so it's getting dark. Like, as you guys are going out, it's about, 8:30, 9. So it's pretty much nighttime at this point.
Yep.
As you pull up to Hob House. Right on?
Fail.
So, yeah, and you don't notice anything. So,
Are there any cars parked here?
as you pull up to the Hob House, it looks completely empty. Like, it's out in the kind of a little bit more in the countryside. And as you pull up to the main gate, the gate is closed, but it doesn't look locked. Like, there's a main gate with a big twisting driveway that goes up to Hob House, mounted up on a distant hill. At this point, it is also beginning to rain, beginning to drizzle just a little.
Does it look like there's lights on in the house?
No lights on.
Okay. Then I feel like we can just make the walk up there.
Yeah, and as you walk up, you see that there were chains wrapped around the front gate, but they've been cut and lie on the ground, kind of kicked off to the side.
Always a good way to start off.
Yep. I pull out my 45.
You pull out your 45, and you guys march your way up to the front of Hob House, right?
Yep.
And you're just gonna walk in?
I pull out my 46.
Yeah, you play 46.
I'm gonna put my ear to the door.
All right, so you pull up, you move your way up to the door and put your ear to it. Give me a listen.
That is a hard pass.
Hard pass, yeah. As you're sitting there, it's very quiet, nothing. And just as you're about to stop listening, you hear like a distant, like a pop, and like a,
Like a gun.
not like a gun, more like a, almost like a, I don't know, like maybe like a firework kind of thing type deal.
Like
very discreet
witchcraft?
firework from deep inside the house.
Okay. I will quietly open the door.
All right, the door's unlocked. As you open the door, the moonlight pouring into this massive manor. This house is huge. And as you open the door, there seems to be a twisting hallway with a bunch of doors that split off. And at the far end of this hallway is a open archway with a staircase leading down. And as you slowly look in, you see a green glow coming from the basement.
Okay, we will quietly walk down.
You're leading?
Yes.
All right, you lead. Give me a stealth check as you move in. Who's following? Who's right behind him?
I am right behind.
You can give me an advantage stealth check as you move behind, just a couple feet behind him. You can have advantage just because you're further back.
There's a determined look in my face. I need to get to the bottom of this. My faith has been shaken.
I love it.
Is
Is that why you're using a gun now?
I'm trying to think of
The Lord said nothing about using weapons.
I feel like if I push this roll and I fail it, what happens?
So as you're going, I can't tell you what's going to happen if you...
Did you say a stealth check?
Yes, an advantage stealth check for you, Tyler, not you, Seth. So, Seth, sounds like you're going to fail it. Do you want to push it?
That's what I'm debating.
I know you are.
Fuck it. I rolled the same exact thing, so I fail.
Alright.
Alright, I fail then.
Okay, no worries. So you guys begin making your way into the
You
house.
should have said that before you pushed it.
Yeah.
I totally should have, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So...
It does, because it's worse now.
You guys make your way slowly, Jackson, kind of creeping. You can hear the floorboards creaking very silently. And as you make your way down the stairs very quietly, you kind of peek around the corner, not actually entering. And as the stairs kind of turn and bend around, you see this cellar, and amongst it are a bunch of tables with filing cabinets all over, littered aisles of filing cabinets. Some of them have been pulled out and thrown on the ground. There's papers everywhere, old yellowed parchment, and at the far end seems to be like a desk set up. Once again, you see what very looks like before, like that same kind of cauldron with bubbling green liquid. And the desk is empty. There's a candle still burning, a candle with good amount of wax left on it.
Yep.
And a bunch of papers strewn out on the desk. It looks like it's about, on the other side of the basement from what you can see at the top of the stairs. Because, you're kind of at the top where you go down, but you can peek around and take in the entire basement without really having to go down much.
Yeah, I'll keep walking down.
Alright.
I'm not being stealthy at this point.
Yeah, so you start walking down and into the basement. Everyone else is following them, right?
Following 2 pistols.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have mine out with like a flashlight.
I'm going to message you something, Seth.
Alright.
I sent the 2, but I do have to go.
Alright.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
Please don't die, guys.
In session 0.
What,
I
what's your
respect your
character?
discipline, sir.
Yeah,
Have a
if we
good night.
finish this in time. Yeah.
Jackson stops in his tracks. And he seems to almost like he hears something off to the side. And he pulls out his gun. Alright, he already has his gun. You guys see immediately, Jackson stopped, he took out his gun, and then he turns around and he points it at Barnabas, and you see like a extreme look of like, just these, like flat out, like he's not even really thinking, like a dark look to his eyes, and you can see his hand shaking, like he's fighting with all his will, his finger hovering over the trigger as it points right at Barnabas's face, but it does not pull the trigger.
Can I try and tackle him?
Yep, okay.
Wrestle the gun away?
Yep, I need you to give me a strength check. You give me an opposing strength check. As you see Madame run at him and begin to try to wrestle the gun away.
I fail.
I'm gonna help because I was literally right behind him.
Sure, you can have advantage with that as the priest helps you, James.
Where is? Oh, at the top.
Strength. Yep, just as a straight strength roll.
Oh, okay. I pass.
I fail.
Oh, with advantage.
Yeah, I guess that's. I mean, but
I
extremely.
pass.
Yeah. So you immediately run over, start wrestling the gun out of his hand, and pull it out. Do you have any other guns?
I do have a shotgun on me.
You say it was a strength check?
So everyone, go ahead and roll initiative, which is well. Now
I got a hard pass on the strength check as I tackle him.
Yep. So you guys tackle him and knock the gun out of his hand. So no worries.
Okay.
What do you want to do? It's your turn. As you guys have both tackled Jackson and knocked him to the ground, and Madame pulls the gun out of his hand.
As I clamp my arms around his body, try and keep him from moving, I begin strongly saying prayer words at him. It's going to be just not going to do it today.
Yeah, you started.
That wasn't Latin, I'm sorry.
I love it.
There's a lot of compassion behind it because we've been through a lot in the past day and a half, and I don't want to see him taken by the Dark Powers.
I love it. And as you're holding him, I will say that you're also holding him so he can't get up, and you're saying your prayers rapidly. That's when, so, Madame, what do you want to do?
I'm looking around for Amelia, and I'll be like,
Spot him.
Jackson, what's going on? What's wrong with you? It's a fail.
All right. Jackson, he is going to, he tries to wrestle around and pull out a shotgun, and he's going to try to blow the priest's head off.
Can I make the roll?
Yeah, you need to make a power of will roll against this spell.
That is a... How much luck do I have left? I'm gonna use some luck here.
So what'd you get exactly?
It was a hard pass. If you need the number, I can't tell you. But
No, that's exactly what you need to not. It had to be a hard pass specifically too.
Oh,
so yeah, you
Wow.
so yeah, you fight it just barely as you see Priest Father. He pulls out the shotgun, he cocks it, and he puts it to your temple. You can feel the cold metal
can
as
I like throw it away from me, like with that?
No.
As I resist it. Okay.
No, you cannot. So yeah, and you can see once again Jackson's face strained as he looks like he's fighting everything to not do it. His finger trembling over the trigger. He does not pull it though. Go to Sam. What do you want to do, Sam?
Take the shotgun.
So you run over. Give me a strength check. You give me a strength check too.
That is a super pass or extreme pass.
And I failed.
All right, yeah, and you try to rip it out and you do not. So that's your turn. Trying to rip it out, but he kind of fights it off and pushes you back. We're gonna go back over to Father.
Though I travel through the shadow or the valley of death, I fear no evil. And I'm gonna basically continue to try and trap his arms.
All right. So are you okay? We'll say that. Yeah, you're gonna constrict him so he can't even move the shotgun. Give me a opposing strength check against Jackson. I'm trying to basically, yeah, restrain him.
This is like D&D where I have to call my inspiration beforehand.
Yes.
Curse you.
But you could use
I
luck roll.
failed.
You could use luck.
I would go insane or die or whatever.
All right. So what did you get, Seth?
I also fail.
All right. So you both failed. So nothing's happening. You are still grabbing him, Father, trying to move him out, but he's still able to hold on to his shotgun and keep it with him. We're gonna go over to Madame.
Is he able to aim it at me though?
you
Because
take
I
it to the
was
last one?
specifically constricting his arms.
I did a spot hit, and then I did a.
You failed.
I failed my spot hit.
All right. It's your turn again.
I will attempt to wrestle away the shotgun, I guess.
All right. Yeah. So you move over and you're gonna wrestle over. Give me a strength check against Jackson as you try to pull out of his hands.
Bro. I rolled a 1.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like not coming out unless you're gonna roll something really good, James.
I failed.
All right, yeah, and you try to pull it out of his hands once again, and he takes the shotgun. This time, Jackson kind of wrestling. It's hard now that the priest is grabbing him in such a manner that he can't fire at the priest. You like that? But he then Jackson twists himself over and aims at Barnabas and tries to fire the gun. Give me a power of will.
It's hard not to please.
That is.
Wasn't it one request? Keep me alive.
I forgot that Barnabas was here. And we'll say,
That is a pass.
no, Matt, you turn your shotgun over, and I'm going to say Barnabas had a chance to pull it out of your hand. So let's give Barnaby a nice roll here. I'm going to roll for him. He fails. So he does not pull it out. So yeah, you lean over and you fire a shotgun. You guys hear a loud bang as it thunders in the basement, echoing, and flies at Barnabas. He's going to try to dodge. Barnabas gets a... Let me pull up his sheet. In the meantime, can you...
I'm within 5 yards, yes.
Yeah, go ahead and make your shot check or whatever it is. Yeah, you got half his deck, so what, that's 25. Yeah, he fails. Go and roll damage. He's right there, so full damage.
If I have the option to make 2 attacks, do I do that this turn?
Yes, 100%.
Alright. Oh boy. Oh boy!
Saying it.
You gotta be shitting me. That's gonna be 18 damage.
Yeah, and you see bam, bam, and the 2 shots rip
No, that
through.
was just the first shot.
Oh, the first shot. Well, I'm gonna say he only has what? He only has 8 somehow. You blow a hole into his neck, and as soon as you hit it, he just starts gasping and choking on his own blood, falls against the back wall, and kind of starts having like a seizure, dying as his blood just spills all over the ground. What do you want to do, Sam?
So somebody just got blown away.
Yep, and it looks like Jackson is trying to reload his gun.
Yeah, I'll try to take the gun still.
All right, strength check versus Jackson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, I should probably make a strength roll.
Yes,
too.
you should.
Yes, you should.
Oof, that's gonna be a pass.
I have an extreme pass.
All right, so you rip it out of his hands at this point. We're then gonna go over to Father. What do you want to do, Father?
I begin bashing him in the face with my brass knuckles. And just,
Are you? Yeah.
no.
I love it. Do it.
Cry, the power of Christ compels you.
And I just, I honestly just kind of let him go, and I'm just backing across the room in a gasp, but just, what have you done? And just kind of unable to take in the horror of what he just did.
Yeah, and actually, everyone who saw that, give me an insanity check. Great. All right, anyone who saw that, give me a D8 of sanity damage. Yeah, we're gonna cut over to you, Madame. What do you want to do?
I want to look for Amelia.
Give me a spot hidden.
Or I want to look for anybody that I think might be controlling him.
Yep.
I passed.
Passed. So yeah, as you round the corners of these bookshelves and these filing cabinets, you turn a corner and they're crouched looking through the bookcases at the scene, and on the other side is Amelia, and as she kind of turns to you and looks with horror on her face. You can see she has like these black paintings on her skin. She looks very different from what you saw before. Her hair looks almost has like a gray tinge to it, but she still looks moderately young. And
I spot her, and I say, hey guys, I found her, and I'll take a shot at her.
all right, go ahead. Yep, so she's going to try to dodge it. She's going to dive for cover, too. So, bam, a loud gunfire as you see Amelia dive behind some filing cabinets, and your bullet hits the cabinets and papers start flying. We're then going to go over to the next person.
And I did yell out, hey, I found her over here.
Yep, Jackson, what do you want to... so, Jackson, you pull out your Bowie knife.
I was gonna say, I still have that on me.
So, yeah, you see he reaches down, he pulls out... Who's the one on him, the priest?
I think...
Yeah. Oh, I backed away in horror.
You did back away? Okay.
I would say,
I took his shotgun.
yeah, I would
so
say you're like right next to
Yeah,
me.
so he's gonna, you see Jackson stand up and take the knife, and he begins to try to stab you. Go ahead and make a dodge roll versus your attack roll.
Dodge. I'm gonna use luck and pass.
Okay, so yeah, you fail though, Seth?
Yeah,
Yeah, you take out your Bowie knife and come over and slash at Sam, but just barely misses. We're then gonna go over to Sam.
I'm gonna wrestle away the knife.
All right, yeah, give me a contesting strength. You got a hard pass though, right? So you do yank the knife out of his hand. So yeah, now you have the Bowie knife and the shotgun in each hand.
It's looking like Rambo.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I mean, we can only really use the knife because the shotgun's two-handed. Are you gonna move away from him?
Yes.
All right, and you start running away from Jackson. Father, what do you want to do? You did hear.
Heaven have no mercy for the wicked. And I'm gonna launch myself over to where I saw the witch dive behind the thing and start beating the shit out of her with my knuckles.
Perfect. So yeah, you run over to where Madame is, and you can see she's on like a hallway pointing a gun down it. And as you run down the hallway, you turn the corner, and there she is on the ground.
I'm gonna go ahead and dive at Amelia. Your wicked ways will not be forgiven. And I'm gonna dive in and just start beating the shit out of her.
All right, give me a attack roll. She's gonna try to dodge. Here, and actually, does she get some kind of bonus to that? Cause she.
Actually, fuck that. I have a shotgun. I fire my shotgun at her.
All right, yeah, never mind. That's different.
Jackson made the right choice in giving.
So I'm gonna use inspiration for this one. Oh, okay. I got a 4.
Yeah, and she gets a pass on her dodge, but you got an extreme pass, it sounds like. So, yeah, you fire. Has the shotgun been fired yet this battle?
Not that shotgun.
Not that
this
shotgun.
one.
Yeah, go ahead and you fire the sawed-off point shotgun and almost point blank. Go and roll your damage.
It's 4d6, Tyler.
4d6?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're rooting for you.
This is the shot from the Lord.
The power of Jesus fucks your
May
day.
the power of Christ fuck your face off.
He just threw holy water on his bullets. Fucking.
Oh, 19 damage.
She only has 12. So, yeah, you turn the corner, and, she looks up at you with horror, and you just say your line, perfect like a movie, and just pull that trigger, and you feel the gun buck as the extreme weight, power from the shotgun echoes throughout the basement, and the whole just top torso of Amelia. In 1 second is there, the next is just turned into a pulp, as blood and guts just are splattered up against all the cabinets and the papers in the whole room, and then it grows quiet.
How do I feel after this?
You immediately, as soon as you hear that shotgun, it's almost like that's the shot that wakes you up, and you feel perfectly like you barely know what happened. Like, you look around and see Barnabas dead.
I go, what the fuck?
I'm holding all your weapons. What the fuck?
Yeah, you're right there.
I go, yeah, I don't even say anything. I just like, what happened to Barnabas?
He blew his head off.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I go to Barnabas's body and I find something to wrap him up in and say his final rites.
Yeah, and you're over there praying, kind of packaging him away. You said what again, James?
I'm just searching the surrounding area to see if there's any.
Yep.
And I'll break any circles or anything like that.
Sure. Yeah, and as you move away, kind of looking around the filing cabinets, but as you kind of draw your attention over to the green glow at the far end with the desk, this desk itself is amongst a pentagram, of white salt made onto the dirt floor of this mansion. And on the desk, you see what looks like papers, and right on the front, you can see it says witch trial papers. And you think you got them right here on this table. What are you doing again? You're like...
I'm just messing with the salt.
Yeah, you come over to the edge, and there's some candles lit around the circle, and as soon as you come over and just kind of rub your foot and dash the circle, kind of breaking the circle's edge, all the candles, one at a time, boop, 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 go out.
Get your gloves.
I look into the green thing, what we saw at her apartment, like it looks like
Looks
that.
very similar to that.
I say I found the papers.
And I like somberly walk over to them and I like look at them. I say, I still think it best not that we only have one person touch these.
I also think that best.
And
use the magic gloves.
I say I don't think it matters much now.
Well, the other ones were the full effect.
Yeah, I pull out the other papers and I try to rip them in half.
All right, so you pull out the forged papers, and you're gonna rip them in half.
Yeah.
Yep, and you rip them in half, just and rip the whole thing in half.
I throw them in the cauldron.
And you throw them in the cauldron, and they kind of start bubbling, sizzing, a steam coming out of it as they begin to melt and disappear into the concoction.
And I grab the real paper.
All right, and you grab the real papers, and as soon as you pick them up, you hear like this distant this
I have
screech.
the shotgun racked and pointed directly at him.
And then yeah, you have a point, and then you all hear a distant boom, boom, footsteps above you on the floor. The floor above you, as you all look up and here in the ceiling, you see dust falling down as you hear dun, dun, dun. The footsteps moving across.
I'm shooting at the ceiling.
You see Sam immediately. He just starts firing into the ceiling where he thinks it is. Go and make your checks.
Are you with like the gun club for the school?
He didn't even have a gun at the start of the adventure, so he's like,
Fail.
you have 2 handguns though, right?
Oh, it's true. I only shot one.
Yeah, if you dropped the shotgun and the sword, I see you give it back. You're just like, bam, bam.
Do they allow me to have those back? I did not pick them up.
Fine, then I guess they're on the other side of the basement.
I go grab them.
2 fails.
Yeah, so you see Sam pull out his handguns, kind of like, bam, bam, yeah, you're just firing up into the ceiling. He's just kind of listening, and you hear the steps continue to march towards the other side where the entrance, the staircase is. And bam, 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 and it stops there, and it's dead silent.
Like in front of the door?
And you can hear it like, so if you're in the basement, you came down the stairs on one end, on the opposite end is the table where you guys are all standing. You hear the footsteps start above you on the wooden floor, track across the basement towards the other end where the stairs, they stop at the top of the stairs where you think you would have to go up and exit.
Yeah, so like near like the basement entrance. Is there any way I can angle a shot over there?
Sure, yeah, I mean, you can, yeah, you have plenty, nothing's happening right now, so you just kind of go over there and just start firing, yeah. If you want to unload your entire gun, go ahead and...
unload my whole gun.
Okay, never mind. Then, yeah, go ahead and make as many shots as you feel like.
I ask Madame if I can have my 45 back.
Sure. I'll hand it back.
Alright, with hesitation, she hands it back to you.
I say thank you. I'm just trying to get these papers out of here.
I do not turn my back to him at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you. In fact, I move up a little bit and like reload the thing. And...
Don't reload it.
You grab the papers, right? The wish trial papers, and as you kind of look down at them, now, you know, not looking at the footsteps, these pictures here look much more vivid. And you almost lose yourself in them as you kind of get tunnel vision and look down, and the ink begins to move, swell, and you can see this.
Smack him in the face.
Yeah, and he's just
I
standing
punch
there.
him in the shoulder.
Yeah, you guys knock him out of it, and you break your stare at the. For a moment, one of the last things you saw was in the inky picture, a shadow moving in the illustrations towards you, getting closer to the camera, and then they.
Put those dark papers away.
I put them away.
You put them away. What do you guys want to do?
Look for an alternate exit out of here, I guess.
All right, so you look around, and after there is what looks like a window on the other side. That's like a small rectangular square that maybe you move something over and broke the window. It looks like locked with a key, but you could maybe break the window and shimmy out.
Shoot it out.
Is that what you want to do?
I shoot the lock off.
Yeah, so you...
One of my shots in the shotgun.
Exactly. The other shot in the chamber, you come over and blow the lock apart, and you can now swing open the window if you want.
I'm staring at the basement.
I load the shot back as I go.
The priest reloads. Does anyone want to exit? It's dead quiet in here.
I want to kind of look around at the papers. Like, was there alternate papers?
So he ripped up the...
No, I don't mean those papers. I mean, like, just...
There were other notes. It looks like that, as you look over the notes, it looks like she was trying to dispel the monster, or this ancient horror, from the papers.
It's like occults?
Yes, you can do occult. I'm sorry. You can do
I don't know,
occult.
see a mythos.
No, you're fine. Do occult.
I pass.
All right. You kind of look over it, madame, and you think for a moment, as you're looking them over, you might be able to finish this ritual. As you're looking at it with some skills and maybe some friends, you could right here and now banish it from the papers, but if it doesn't work, it could do the opposite effect and things can get shitty.
I'll tell the group. You guys want me to try it?
I will help you.
Yeah. Does that mean we just killed a good person in Amelia?
I don't think she was good because she tried to take over Seth to kill us.
Yeah.
With an exaggerated, die-hard sort of stance, I my gun and stand in front of the doorway. Do what you must. Lady of the Night.
All right, I'll go.
What you want, or?
All right, so Madame begins to crack her fingers and then starts going around. You kind of reading Amelia's notes. I'm trying to figure out exactly what she was trying to do, and she looks like she was having problems trying to figure out some of these incantations that are needed. She has papers drawn from throughout the basement. It looks like she kind of gathered documents and brought them all together and was trying to make
We have some documents from Hoojamagooj itself. Maybe those will help.
Yeah, sure. And you have it written down from Anthony, right? He gave you the symbols.
Yeah, I think did he give that to us?
Yeah.
I assume
Yeah.
he did. Yeah. So and as you look over them, Madame, they seem to be the missing pieces to the puzzle here. Kind of using the symbols on Hunter's cell, you're able to piece together this ritual, this incantation. You go over and you kind of start telling people what to do. Sam goes over, maybe lights the candles. The salt is brought back into a perfect connection. You hear a low hum once it's brought back in together, and the papers are laid out on the desk as you begin to kind of take these. Amelia even gathered some of these like spices and things that you can see she's been trying to use, but as you're looking over the notes, they seem to be used in the wrong order. So you start using them in the right order. This could be it. So I need you to make me one more cult roll.
Okay.
As this is the true roll to tell whether it's gonna pass or not. You can have advantage because you have.
I don't need it.
No, really?
It's probably like an extreme pass or something. No, just missed by one. It's just a hard pass.
All right.
Use your luck.
I'll use a luck of one to make it an extreme pass.
Perfect. All right. So as you.
I gotta take that off, I guess.
Yeah, as you start reciting some of the lines off the original copy of the document, you hear a distant screech as the once again thumping giant massive footsteps on the upstairs. Yeah, and as Madame, you start succeeding. Things, the whole circle around you begins to glow, giving off an iridescent light. As the candles begin to grow in flame and the documents laid out before you, you start reading it. And as you start reading it, what almost like happens before your eyes, you see the ink begin to coalesce and collect together and begin to bleed. And you're still trying to read out what little bit you can. And the ink starts to manifest and build off the page and coalesce into this large, inky figure that kind of rises up. You continue saying your seance, trying to keep the magic flowing here and not stopping. This massive creature coming out of the ink, as Madame is sitting there, like it kind of swirls around her, and this form builds up behind her. She doesn't even see it.
Can I fire at it?
What do you say?
Can I fire at it?
Yeah, and you're gonna find anyone who sees this. Madame doesn't see it. She's reading the occult. Everyone who sees it though, which is everyone else, give me an insanity check. All right, give me sanity
I'm
check.
pointed towards the door.
Yeah, sure. And you're not looking.
I fail.
Give me a. I want 1d12 of sanity damage.
1d12. Holy shit.
Wow.
And you take 1d4 of sanity damage, Sam, with a pass. If you lose 1/5 of your sanity from, like, say, let's just whatever it was at the beginning of the day, let's say, have you lost 20% of your sanity from that point? Like, what was your sanity?
Not from this roll is gonna take me down to 35.
Is it on one roll or just throughout the day?
Throughout the day.
Yes.
Ooh,
So you do go below it from throughout the day. 20%.
Yes.
All right, so I need you. So yeah, as you see this, you are terrified. And so since you lost 1/5 of your sanity in one day, the investigator is compelled to get away as far away as possible by whatever means are available, even if it means taking the only vehicle and leaving everyone else behind. They travel for 1d10 rounds. So you just start booking it. Like as soon as you see this, like you pull out your gun and you just feel this overwhelming sense of horror. Yeah, you start just booking it. Now, what did you want to do, Sam, as he's running? You see this form coalescing behind Madame.
I want to encourage Madame to finish her seance, but I'm still paying attention to the door.
By the way, I roll a 1 for the amount of turns I'm gonna be running.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, so yeah, we'll just say you start running up the stairs, but that's the end of your turn as you start running up them.
Wait. Somebody opened the door with the thudding footsteps?
No, he's going up the stairs, but he has not traveled up. He's halfway up the stairs, and then he turns around. Like, he looks terrified, like he wants to get the fuck out of here. We
Fair enough.
come over to this horror. It is going to get one attack here on you. So, give me a power of will roll against this creature as it tries to completely suck the soul out of Madame.
Can I use luck on this?
What do you say?
Can I use luck on this?
You can, actually.
I will use luck. And a lot of it. Yeah, it's 64.
Does that mean you pass then?
It means I regularly pass.
Alright, let's see what... So it does still get a hit on you, technically, but it's not enough to kill you. So,
How
what
do
is
you
going
know?
to... What do you say?
How do you know?
Because you passed. So it's going to still scar you. So Madame, as you're sitting here, you see this creature coalesce up behind you. It reaches this big, black, inky claw and shoves it into the back of Madame as you feel this piercing pain. Go ahead and lose, what, it looks like 5 health.
Okay.
As it rips into you, she continues to still scream out the phrases. The creature gives a screech of pain as it completely... give me one more sanity check, Madame. See if you fall into a catatonic state.
I do fail.
Give me a D8 of sanity damage, and tell me if that goes below your 20%.
I do not.
You do not?
No.
So you maintain your sanity, though, and you're able to fight this. As this coalescing form moves in front of you, you see its unimaginable terror as its red eyes look into yours, similar to what Leader must have seen moments before his death, as you feel it pressing upon you. But then you finish your last couple words, and the creature suddenly gives a screech, and you see it being sucked back down into the pages of the paper. The candle's burning bright, the circle glowing hot, and the whole creature gets sucked back into the pages, and with one last gasp, you see it, the papers begin to give one last glow, dim, and then nothing, as they look just like normal papers now. You feel all the impending presence around you dissipate, and with one last final act, Madame takes some of the materials around into a stamp and bundles it back up into the leather pouch and stamps it, sealing it shut. And once again, it is quiet, as you now have the papers, which are sealed away inside this leather-bound package with a big red stamp, very similar to it is like those inky, wax stamps that seal it into the papers. And it's quiet.
The footsteps never moved at all during that whole...
The footsteps never moved.
I go upstairs.
You go upstairs. It's still raining outside, but it seems to...
You're instantly eviscerated by 5 of these beings.
Exactly. Yeah, you slowly creep your way up, and you notice that as you get up, get upstairs, that the rain is slowly starting to stop. Like it was kind of pouring for a little bit there, but now it's starting to get weak again and dissipating.
Okay.
How is Madame doing at this point?
Not well. Not well.
I help you to a standing position and start to make our way out of this hellhole.
All right.
At least I'm doing better than Barnabas.
I look for every flammable item in the area and say, this place cannot be left for
Burn this mother down.
Wait,
mere people
let me at least
to
look for
root
some
around.
money here.
So what?
Let me at least find some money in here or something.
So you're gonna look
It's
around
a
for...
mansion.
Yeah, so...
It's some valuables.
She's saying, even though she's traumatized by what just happened, she's still like, let's look around for money.
She's like
Where's
over
the
half dead.
valuables?
She's like, where's the money?
That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you guys make your way, everyone give me a spot hidden real quick.
I'll look for some valuables. Especially for burning this place down.
I will look for.
I do not see.
So hard pass and extreme pass. You two together, as you're going around the basement, the hard pass, you notice that there seems to be a cabinet that's different, has some markings on the side that catch your attention. You pull over Madame, and she opens up the cabinet, pulling in the very back, kind of a hidden compartment that no one is able to find, and there seems to be a load of money. Like, it looks like old gold medallions from, times back in the witch trial, that are, not even that much, but could be worth a lot more than they are now. Were back in the 1690s.
I grabbed some, but I let Madame have most of them.
Yeah, Madame, you're gonna collect most of them?
Yeah. Dude, is there at least, I feel like, $4,000 in here?
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll say that there's like 8,000.
Nice.
I take $4,001.
No, I need 4,000, bro.
All right,
That was my motivation.
All right, let's put it
So I need to complete my motivation. So
My gambling debts are wiped out. All right.
So yeah, you guys and you said, Father, you're gonna.
I take what's left of the papers at this point, the sealed bundle, if I
Alright.
may.
Yep, and you take it and you tuck it away. I assume you're gonna give it to the priest.
Yeah, if you want to, you can have it.
Yep, you give him the witch trial papers, and then you're gonna do what to the mansion?
I'm gonna burn the fuck out of it.
All right, so you guys get clear. You the priest lights, some of the candles and the paper. You create maybe a big pile of papers down in the basement. Light it up, and the whole mansion eventually lights up. Even though it's raining slightly, it's not enough to combat massive flames that begin to lick up in the air.
I also say we should probably.
I say, may the Lord have mercy on the souls being released upon this fine night, for we do not.
So he doesn't. So yeah, you guys drive off in the distance with the tea. Are you guys gonna do anything else? What are you gonna? I guess really the question I want to know, Father. Well, we'll say that, Madame. Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We're probably gonna go back to the antique dealer and show him the papers and just ask him if he still wants them.
Is that what you're doing, priest?
I would rather these papers be sold off and the money could go to, something useful than them, whatever dark forces want them, fuck it, take it.
What was the point of me sealing it? Is it because it can be released again, or is it forever gone?
And as you think this to yourself, you think that this kind of eldritch horror can never be killed. Never. The best thing you could ever hope for is either keeping it away from human touch. You've gone the extra mile to seal it in here.
Seal it in the paper.
So it's safe to the touch right now. But once again, you being an occult, somewhat knowing of the occult, Madame, that something like this could never be killed, ever.
Okay. Then I say, I have contacts within the church that could make sure this never sees the light of day again. 'Tis your decision.
I say, I don't know, the antique dealer was pretty transparent about being able to put these away somewhere.
He looks pretty greedy about it, though.
Yeah, the selling to the highest bidder.
Do I feel like the Catholic Church would compensate them for keeping an unholy demon away from humanity?
I think so. I like your idea. I like what you said with the... I would say definitely riff off that, improv that scene of the Catholics could store it away somewhere.
Yeah, like a total Indiana Jones scene where they're storing it in some giant warehouse.
That is exactly what I picture in my head, except it's a little bit more churchy.
There's more candelabras and religious symbols around.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Is that what you guys want to do?
I'm game.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't really want to give it to the antique dude. He's pretty greedy.
I want to meet up with Anthony the next morning.
All right, so yeah, you guys decide that you're not going to take it to Abner.
Yeah.
Or Wick.
So I call up my contacts at the Vatican.
Yeah.
To get the ball rolling.
I love it. Yeah, and you call up your contacts, and you're meeting with Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, you meet with him the next morning. He's like, what'd you guys find?
It's just me, I hope. But
Sure, yeah, just you.
Alright. I tell him, I say, we found the papers.
You did? Where?
We gave them back to Fallon. They're in his office.
Are you guys serious?
Yes.
What the fuck, man?
We did some investigation and we found that Fallon was clean.
Are you... Dude, what?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you have the papers, you must be right. Dude, why'd you give it back to him?
We give it back to him.
You said you gave him to Fallon, the papers.
Yeah. Yeah, we gave them to him.
Dude, well... shit. And he kind of stands up for a moment without another word, and he says, dude, fuck. And he kind of storms out the door.
But they're in
He
his
stops
office.
at the door. What?
They're in his office.
They're in his office?
Yeah.
Alright, well, at least I know where they are, man.
Yeah. And I say keep the devil worshipping to a minimum, thanks.
He kind of stops for a second and stares. He goes, what?
And then that's where I pull up my gun and shoot him.
You pull out your gun? Like, you're gonna, as soon as you pull out your gun, the whole bar gets quiet as the bartender kind of stops wiping the glass, and then you're gonna fire?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fire.
Do you do it when he's looking at you, right?
Oh yeah. Fuck. I saw the 0, and then
He failed
it's
too.
100.
What'd you get?
It's 100.
Alright, but okay, so your gun actually jams. So when you get 100,
fuck.
your gun, like, you stand up, you fire at him, and you can hear it jams, like you cannot shoot anymore. Like, and then you can see he stares at you, he rips off his sweater, and you can see underneath the sweater a bunch of tattoos of all these satanic symbols all the way up to his neck and everything. And then he gives like an unhuman scream, and he pulls out a knife and he runs at you, and he's gonna try to stab you.
Okay.
So give me a dodge roll.
Alright. That's gonna. Can I push the roll on these or no?
No, not opposed.
Alright, I fail.
Yeah, and he comes over and he stabs it in your arm as he sends it home. Let's see, that is going to be.
That is 1, 2, 3, 5 tendons.
That is what his. Oh, 1d6 for me, Seth, while I look up his bonus.
Low roll. That's a 4.
You're
It's
going to
not
take
gonna be more.
4 piercing plus a d4. Roll a
Plus a
d4
D4.
and add that to it.
Oh, this could be it. If you get a 4, you're dead.
It's a 2.
Ooh.
Okay, your turn. What do you want to do?
I wanna-
He's screaming. He looks like he's ready to try to stab you again.
I pull out my shotgun and I try to shoot him.
Alright, you pull his shotgun, go and fire. He's going to try to dodge again.
That's gonna fail.
So yeah, you fire up. You have 2 shots you can do, or 1?
Actually with the shotgun I have 2.
Yeah, you want to fire your other one? He's gonna try to dodge
Yeah,
again.
of course. Alright.
He dodges the first one, but the second one he's gonna
Please.
fail.
Jesus Christ. That's
Fail?
even worse. I fail. Yeah.
Alright, but the second one fails too. He's then screaming. He's gonna try to take the knife and stab it at you again.
Yep.
Go and make another dodge.
Dear Lord. 10th place. Alright.
Now we know why nobody liked him.
That's gonna fail.
Alright, so he misses though. He fails too. Your turn.
Alright, we're firing twice.
What do you mean? You gotta reload.
I reload.
That's a lot more than just saying. I think your whole turn has to be reloaded.
Oh, then I pull out a knife and try to stab him.
Okay. I'll double check that in just a second. but
It's
I-
okay. I'm not
Okay.
worried
Yeah,
about it.
reloading firearm, 1 round of combat to reload 2 shells.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's the thing we haven't really brushed on because no one ever ran out of something, but all your guns they're a bitch to reload. So like,
Yeah.
it's not even the whole gun's reloaded in a turn too. It's like maybe a couple of things in there for your entire turn. It makes the game very intense though for gun battles. What'd you get, Seth?
Unless I can I use luck on this?
On what again?
Oh, no, luck. Yeah, I failed.
Okay, so yeah, you try to stab him and you fail.
Yeah.
Alright, then he's actually, yeah, so okay, he dodges and then he's gonna try to stab you again.
Yep.
You know the drill.
Yep, I fail.
Have you failed
Here,
all
let me
of
see
them?
what he got.
You failed every single roll so far.
Yep.
Let me
Fails
see.
and everything, then fail this.
You come in all confident.
This is also the guy who pulled out a gun in the middle of daylight.
I never said I was smart.
I'm not a smart.
Yeah, and he's gonna stab you again.
Yeah, I'm probably dead. 'Cause I
Alright, you can roll it. Roll 1d6 plus 1d4.
I only have 2 hit points, so it doesn't matter.
Alright, so yeah, and he stabs you again in the eye, Jackson, as the blade digs deep. And everyone's screaming in the whole place as they're getting up and running, and you can hear him like as he just starts digging, he's like taking all your shit and just cutting you, like continuing to stab you even when you're well past dead.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that's where we'll have the campaign fade out. Maybe.
This is 100% Conrad levels of pettiness.
and maybe one of the last scenes is exactly like Indiana Jones, except it's the papers being put to
He's
the
just
catacombs.
carving satanic runes into frickin' Seth's chest.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
man.
stabbing full blast into him. I love it. Sweet, and we'll call that the end there.
All right.